hi everyone. I realise I've gone live without adding my own camera. Or my own web captioner. We're doing well. It's been a great day. It's been a great day of streaming here at the Academy. There have been tech issues. Alice, unfortunately, cannot make it at the today. She is still recovering from the heat stroke that she picked up yesterday, and at the moment, her laptop also won't stay. It's hot enough here at the minute that her laptop won't stay open long enough for her to be able to stream. Her laptop's crashing every 5 minutes. So apologies that Alice can't be here. Let me just add a chroma key. Not a crop, a chroma key. Professional streamer, everyone. Professionalism at all times. Professionalism. Grab that. Throw it down there. Not the disadvantages as well. Yes! Hi everyone! Sorry about that, I'm here! Let's intro this group! Okay, before we hand over to Hans to run this amazing game in Eberron, please check out the following announcements. First of all, Mage Hand Press. Go and check out Mage Hand Press for all of your 5e expansion needs. If you like Dungeons & Dragons and you like space, you should check out their Dark Matter expansion for 5e. It is a girthy book. It has everything you need to run a campaign in space. Classes, races, backgrounds, expanded equipment list, expanded spells, ships combat. Everything you need. You can find it there. And if you would like to buy it on PDF, since we're social distancing at the minute, you can do so with a 25% discount on their website, but also you can order it from your local comic book store if they are currently trading. They are signed with Diamond Comics publishers, and you can get a hardback probably delivered, I imagine, if your local comic book store has access to those things. So it's worth checking out. Support your local stores. They're probably suffering like everyone else is. Also, the Deck of Many. The Deck of Many, you can find these wonderful animated moving cards over on their website, but also you can find their Kickstarter, which is producing level 6 to 9 SRD spell animated cards and an animated tarot card deck. Now, the Kickstarter was funded in 15 minutes. We're currently aiming for 2,000% funding, I think, wherein they will release a book that will document all of their artwork. If they haven't already hit it, it was something like 9 hours ago that I checked that, so they could have hit it by now, considering they beat that amount in around 15 minutes. Go and check it out, it's a lot of fun. Also check out Hero Forge. Hero Forge, where you can make all of your miniature needs. You may have seen on the startup screen, I can't remember if it was there or not, a character that we made last week, which is Alice's character from this very campaign. There's Alice in chat. Lots of love to Alice. I hope she's staying cool downstairs. Custom minis. You can make your own minis on their web designer. They print them out and send them to you. And with their new Kickstarter, which will be available publicly in the next couple of months, or available to Kickstarter pledges right now, you can create them in color. This isn't painted. This is printed in colored resin. It's phenomenal. Go and check it out. Lastly, but most certainly not leastly, Dungeon Fog. Dungeon Fog, for all of your map-making needs. You can create beautiful top-down maps with like buildings and all sorts of things. You can add loads of assets for your characters to discover. As you add things to the map, your DM notes get updated for you. And when you look at this wonderful tool and you see all of the assets that you can play with, and the further more assets that you can get with a premium account, you can upgrade with a 10% discount using our code Scratticus. Lastly, I feel I have to plug Alice. Can't be here today. She's got heat stroke, but bless her, she is the true, creative person behind the Academy. I'm very good at chaos and business, but Alice is very good at producing fine art, at producing beautiful story arcs, and apparently video editing. Check out her Patreon. She's also a full-time professional photographer. Her Patreon might be looking a bit bare bones at the minute because she has to take pictures of this house rather than all of the beautiful places around it, but watch out because there's plenty more coming in the future. She's using this time to reflect, rebuild, and come back even stronger on her Patreon game, so head over there and check it out now. Thank you very much, Hans, for letting me come in and intro you. Thank you very much, Hans and Faye, for agreeing to carry on the show without Alice. I appreciate you all very much. I will hand over to Hans to introduce everyone. Thank you.
Okay, so now I'm introducing her because I was totally paying attention that whole time. I'm gonna start with Susanna, and we're gonna go around this way. Suze, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi, my name is Suze. I don't know what else to say. I use she, they pronouns. I'm on Twitter at Xanna, ZANNAH_K. Yeah, I'm a college student. I like to play D&D. I like to DM, that type of thing, and I'm excited to guest tonight.
Excellent. And what is the name of the character you'll be playing tonight?
Yeah, I'll be playing Sora, a Eladrin monk, Sun Soul.
Very cool. Okay, and we're going to go around the screen this way over to Riley.
Hi there. I'm Riley. I use he, him pronouns. I am currently studying game design at a college near you. That doesn't make sense. And I'm playing Pietro, who is a Warforged cleric.
Okay, that was how I said it in my head, so I'm glad that was relatively right. So that's great. Okay, we're going to keep going around the circle to Faye. Hi, Faye.
Hi, Hans. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I'm Faye, and you can find me on Twitter at Captain Faye Guy, and here on Wednesday evenings, playing as Cinnamon Isleleaf, the very young 16-year-old elf rogue.
You know, the best part is no one else here has any context for what Cinnamon will do today, so there's no feathers on you whatsoever. It's gonna be great.
I know. All the beer I want.
I guess, well, now you've spoiled it for everyone. Now they'll know what you're talking about. Okay, so everyone look forward to that. That should be fun. I'm Hans. I'm going to be here doing this right now. So everyone look forward to that. And otherwise, I will talk about that stuff at the end of the stream, because today we have to delve into the Shards of Syberis. Now, last time we had Cinnamon and Ernie, who is Alice's character, who cannot be here today. They were both in a place which is like a nebulous shifting plane out in the beyond of Eberron. We're not on that prime material plane. We're somewhere else. So today we find ourselves back in that spot where there is just a riotous swirl of chaos in the distance. When we closed last time, that great construction, which looks like a big blue ball of energy with little gold wires and adornments kind of like hanging off of it, not quite complete, but maybe closer now, was out in the distance. And its constructor, the person who calls themselves the fabricator, was feeding energy into it. And we started with 4 players, got down to 2, and now Cinnamon, at the very end, the fabricator said something like, "Come along with me and I'll tell you more about what I need next," and passed into a different area. And you have kind of like a sensation, like time has passed. You feel physically very fresh and relaxed and like ready to tackle things, but also there's this low droning in your ears. I don't know if anybody else has had this in school, but like a teacher was talking to you and telling you something very important about a test, and it has just completely left your consciousness. There's basically no chance it was about you. And the fabricator is now turned. This is a very tall, 7 foot tall, a very pale, like alabaster white tiefling with long horns, kind of like a water buffalo, that kind of sweep back. They're wearing a long black robe that has a very subtle, like stars and nebulous pattern on it, and then a black, like maybe like a vest, like a suit vest, and a red cravat. And right now they're looking at you with utter loss and confusion, like they've been looking at you for a very long time, and only now have you noticed this.
Yes.
That was easier than I expected. Well, I won't repeat myself then.
Right, because I definitely remember what you said. 100%.
Good. That's very good. Now, since you've lost your companion, maybe one of these will do. And they kind of like motion over their shoulder. And let's talk about what Sora looks like. So what does Sora look like?
Yeah, sure. So Sora is a summer Eladrin. She's from the Feywild. So she has dark skin, kind of like, I'm thinking like tree bark vibes. Like she could have like just like jumped out of the forest. Her hair is like really wild and curly and has a bunch of flowers in it. And she's wearing like comfortable, like orangey red, like clothing, like something that like you could move around easily in and fight in. And she's a little short, like 5'0" or so.
Okay, I just remembered I need somebody in chat to roll a d4. This is not unrelated, so I didn't totally skip out on what you said. I heard a very good introduction. So Sora, where do you think Sora was 5 minutes ago?
You know, I think she was probably just like walking. She was like, I think she was on the material plane, and she was like, doesn't really know anything about it or like know where things are, so wandering around a little lost, and is now so maybe even more lost if she's being brought into this situation.
Yeah, so you're on a place where you're standing on like a moat of earth, just like there's a little rocky plain beneath your feet, but there's no greater landscape. Out in the distance, there's like another piece of rock floating by, and you can see the little like stalagmites that hang down off of the bottom of it. The sky has kind of a lava lamp effect where it's shifting between blues and pinks and just kind of doing whatever it feels like. There's no sign of a sun or a moon or any sort of other celestial bodies that are nearby. And this very tall, very large white tiefling is just looking at you like over their shoulder as they've like motioned their hand. Come forward, please.
Sora will kind of like apprehensively walk forward, like taking in the situation. Who are you?
Oh, hi.
Introduce yourself.
Nice to meet you. I'm Cinnamon. And she's going to very enthusiastically shake your hand up and down. She's also quite small. She's 4'11".
Oh, great. So Sora will take your hand and just shake it enthusiastically. She'll be like, are you from here? Like, are you trapped here? What's your house?
And I don't think so. I'm not sure how I got here, and I don't really know how to leave. So that might mean I'm trapped.
Well, I guess we're stuck here together then. And Sora will kind of just like continue like trying to take in everything that's around her.
It is quite literally impossible. It's just so much all the time. And the very tall tiefling has now gotten, again, just so tired of all of this business. So with all that going on, they just say to Cinnamon and now to Sora, and if 2 is not enough, then maybe 1 more. And they just kind of like motion with their hand again. And let's talk about Pietro and what Pietro looks like.
Pietro is a rather tall, gaunt-looking person, around like 6'2", 6'3", maybe. Their skin is like a dark, reflective, like silvery steel, with like a bit of a divider like around their chin, going up around their mouth of like light gray stone. And their eyes are like a dull glowing green. They've got like a very long like black leather duster or like very long leather jacket with like a mantle across the chest, and a very wide brimmed hat, kind of just like placed atop their head.
Okay, so Pietro, where do you think you were, or where do you think Pietro was 5 minutes ago?
I have this image of Pietro like at the top of a hill somewhere with like a single tree, like kneeling over a grave, and kind of has a small book out in his hand, just reading a few words, muttering them to himself.
Okay, so not much has changed. You're still reading a book. You're still muttering to yourself. Hill, there's no ground elevations that are relevant to one another, so you're just on land.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's totally easy to read by, despite the fact that there's no sun or moon or stars or anything like that. And there's just swirling red, green, blues in the air.
We'll slowly close the book, place it inside the jacket, and then slowly stand to full height and kind of look around. This is odd. And kind of like look around for any like living people.
Sora will turn to Cinnamon and be like, is that your friend?
I have no idea who he is, but let's go say hi. Hi, I'm Cinnamon. Nice to meet you.
Hello.
She's going to greet you with the same enthusiasm, just pumping your hand up and down.
Yeah. Pietro seems like totally not ready for this. Slowly extends a hand out. Good to meet you. And
Apparently, we're going on some type of quest.
quest. Right. He said there would be something like this, maybe. Okay. I'm okay with this. Did not
So
think
you
it
don't-
would be so soon.
So you're not from around here either.
Oh no, not whatever this place is. No.
Oh, I'm Sora, by the way.
Hello. I am Pietro. It's a pleasure. But kind of empty here, no?
This
Oh,
guy
no.
seems to have answers.
It's just the three of you in this very tall, large tiefling and this gigantic swirling mass of blue arcane energy in the background. So with that, the tiefling now turns to all of you and they say, now, do you remember what the shards of Syberis look like? They are golden in color. They emanate light from their center. I need one more. This is all I need. But do it with haste. Go and collect just one more shard. And then I can return you wherever you like.
What question?
Yes.
I've forgotten exactly why you need them.
So you're holding us hostage here until we do.
No, I'm going to hold you hostage somewhere else. Go and
Oh.
collect the shard, and then I will send you back where you go.
Are you a god?
No, I don't believe so.
All right.
Now, unless there are any other elementary questions, I will send you all on your way.
Where will we be going?
And with that, there's like their mouth crooks up just a little bit, like they were thinking about smiling, but they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
And in the direction their hands are pointing, a large anime set of gold doors just appears, like the doors to a cathedral. And they are just covered in gilt and beautiful and 11 feet tall and waiting for you. And they just gesture emphatically towards the doors.
I thought they were pretty reasonable questions, but okay, whatever. I mean, why not?
Well,
Okay.
And Sora will kind of glance over her shoulder and start marching towards the door, you know.
I
Okay.
like your
Stride.
enthusiasm. And Cinnamon's gonna march after you.
will we be rewarded for something like this?
What do you want?
I'm not sure yet. But how far do your powers reach? What can you do?
He motions at the very large ball of blue energy behind him, as if this is to him an explanation for everything that he's doing.
Yeah.
Just everything that he does radiates both extreme disinterest and extreme fatigue.
Right. We'll talk later then, I assume. Yeah, Pietro makes his way towards the door.
I apologize to everyone who has to interact with me. Like, this is how I
No,
normally
it's
act.
okay.
This is just for this one character. And
It's
he's just
alright.
terrible.
I like
They're
it,
just
the
terrible.
intrigue, the
Yeah.
mystique.
Thank you, yes. Okay, as long as everybody's having a game level of fun. I could have done the O question mark, which is also doing a good test right now. So with that, we will move on to the doors. Who is going to be the one to open the doors? Here I am using the O question mark.
Uh-oh. We're good.
I can. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Pietro will just walk up and go through. We'll open the doors.
They're very large doors. They open away from you. And as soon as you touch them with your hand, they just like very slowly with no sound creak open. And inside there is black.
Bit of a
And
quick
nothing else.
withdrawal when the doors open. Right. All right then. Steps through. Eyes closed.
Sora will spare a glance at Cinnamon and be like, here goes nothing. And kind of like charge forward.
And Cinnamon will follow.
Well, with that, you have all found yourselves not in that space anymore. You're in like that black nothingness for just a second. And then the doors open on the other side. Explain how that works. And you find yourselves on a very hot, humid day bright sun beating down on you. There is a gentle lapping of water at a dock. There is a strong smell of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, not rotting, but just like decomposing vegetable matter. You know, the smell of like when you're on a docks, like near a swampy area.
Mm-hmm.
It smells very swampy. It's very hot. It's the middle of the day as far as you can tell. And you find yourselves elsewhere. Looking out in the distance, you can see there's a broad expanse of water in the distance. So it kind of goes from a like dark green to like light blue-green to blue. And you can tell there's the ocean out there in the distance. There's gulls, there's other things that are signs of that strong salt brine. And behind you, as you turn and look the other way, there's a fortress type town. It looks like it's built for like weathering battle or storms or things like that. It's very roughly built, but it looks sturdy. And you're on the docks right here. There are a few people who are walking around. They're mostly humans and half-orcs with kind of like a darkish gray-green cast to their skin. And as they're walking, everyone is doing something. They're moving something. They're carrying things around. And yeah, no one's really paying a lot of attention to you. There's a boat that is, if you guys are looking straight ahead at the water, it's off to like your 2 o'clock position, and it's along a dock. It looks small and like it's having trouble really staying above the water level. But there's a human man who is about 6 foot tall and about 4.5 feet wide, very sturdily built, who is like actively throwing big sacks into the back of the boat. And there is an elven person who's standing there. They look like they're masculine presenting, but they're not like strongly so. They're standing off to the side. They're very slender. Their shoulders are like this. And they are wearing a very broad sun hat and just standing like with this withering gaze. So all of this is going on in the immediate distance.
Does anyone see? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Pietro's going to turn to the other two and look down at them and say, I don't know if this is regular for you two, but this is very, very odd to me. What, are you familiar with that tiefling?
I've met him once before.
I'm gonna be real with you, Pietro. Today was my first day on the materia plane, so I don't even know what's been going on previously. I might be as in the dark as you are.
Where do you hail from previously?
Oh, the Feywild.
Oh, never been. Sounds fascinating.
It's nice.
What about you, Pietro? We're going to be going on an adventure. Apparently we have to get a shard? A dragon shard?
What shard? What was that man talking about?
Well, so he's been wanting some dragon shards. I got him one. He told me that if I got him more dragon shards, he would get rid of this mark on my hand. And apparently this mark says that I've joined a cult.
Can I examine the mark? Do I recognize it?
That's a great question. Do you want to make a religion roll?
I would love to.
Sounds great. And Faye, how ready are you to describe this mark? Because you may be better off for this than I am.
Oh, I believe it's now kind of faint, but it's a mark of, I think, a raven on my hand. And
right.
Yeah,
I rolled a 13.
Okay. This is obscure. It's not something you recognize immediately, so it doesn't trigger any like warnings for you of it being something super evil, but it is weird, and it has been put into somebody's, Cinnamon's not that old looking, and I don't know how many people get marked like that.
Is it like a scar or a burn, or is it like a tattoo?
I think my impression is that it's like a tattoo, but it's like a faded tattoo. Yeah.
Gotcha. Right, that does not look... I don't know. Does not ring any bells. What cult does that mark you as?
Well, people don't always like it when I say the name.
So you did join a cult?
Not willingly, but it was kind of like a you join or you die, and so I felt like I kind of had to.
Well, do you not like being in the cult?
I don't really know what it means to be in the cult. I've been trying to just get rid of this mark. It was like I woke up, I had a mark, I was part of a cult, and I haven't really done anything for the cult.
Seems very sudden.
So are you on number if you haven't done anything? This is getting confusing. Wait, okay. So, but you need the shards to get rid of the mark then.
Well, people seem to be very upset when I show them this mark. And Hans, you're going to have to remind me exactly what the name of the cult person is again.
It is the cult of Sol-Katesh.
Okay.
And I think you would again need some sort of roll to know who that is.
I will
Could be
make
a
such
history
a roll.
roll, could be a religion roll,
What am I better
could be an
at?
arcana roll.
Oh, I'm better at history. Let's roll that.
There you go. Ooh, very good.
21.
Yeah. Let's see. Susie, you gonna make the roll as well?
Oh, okay. I can roll too. Let's see.
If you want to. Yeah, no pressure.
I think Sora will try to like sees that Pietro like see me to pick up on things, and she's like, okay, wait, like let me see if I know anything too.
Okay, so this is an elven thing, so maybe it like triggers some like backstory, like long history type roles. Like maybe you had a class once where you heard about this, but Sol-Katesh is the name of an ancient, powerful elven lich.
Is he from the Undying Court?
I am not clear on that. I think there's kind of like a schism there where she's not really ever been officially part of the Undying Court, but I think that's because of the fact that she's more interested in personal power than in like group and
A little more evil,
elven nation
maybe.
type. Little more evil, slightly
Okay.
more evil.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Right. I'm familiar with such people.
Oh, you are? Because
So-
I'm not.
Somewhat. I hail from Shea Mordai. It is the city where the Undying Council reigns supreme. They are a group of elves who, similar to the one that Mark represents, are undying.
Well, you have a much better reaction than other people who have seen this mark.
What do they do when they see it?
Well, that blue gentleman tried to kill me. And other people have asked, there's been a lot of questions of, how old are you? Why are you joining cults at your age?
How old are you?
21.
Do I believe her?
I'll roll
no,
a
this is a
deception
tradition.
check.
We must make this roll now. This
Okay,
is very
okay.
important to the plot content.
And if we both don't get natural 20s, it's going to be very sad.
Is this an insight? This is-
It would be an
Oh.
insight. Okay. It's still really good. Now, here's the story for this. The last 2 weeks in a row, Cinnamon has made a roll to deceive somebody about being 16,
Uh-huh.
and she has critted that roll.
Oh my.
And then the person who was inciting her has critted and had one number higher. That happened 2 weeks in a row.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now-
Also, have I been accidentally rolling with advantage?
I know it does that automatically. So that
Okay.
way, if you do incur advantage, you don't have to worry about it.
Understandable.
Yeah, so that's all set. And the good news is she definitely looks 21.
Okay. little young for 21, but I've seen younger looking people.
Really?
different.
Thanks.
I don't. Different races age at different rates. I do not pretend to understand it all.
Time is so different in the Feywild and the Summer Court. The season just went together. So
But quite rude of this blue person to try to snuff out your life before it's time.
Yeah, I had a halfling friend. She definitely saved my life. And then he told me that because I didn't willingly join, he would help me kind of get rid of this thing if I got him some dragon shards. So I'm assuming that's why the two of you are also here to help me get this dragon shard. So if you guys would like to help
If
me
you're-
out, that would be great.
If your tiefling friend is granting wishes like this, I would be glad to join.
He's not my
Yeah.
friend. He did try to kill me.
Oh, no good, no good.
Does everybody want to make a perception check? That classic D&D thing to do.
Yes, love that.
All
Okay.
right.
Hey, Cinnamon, you get disadvantage on this because I have all these
Aw.
disadvantages to use, and I would like to use one now.
All right.
25.
Oh, hold on. Let me
But
roll
oh,
another one.
9.
Sorry, I didn't realize mine isn't rolling.
That's okay. We got it all set up. Yeah, I don't know why that is. But okay, so the good news is everyone did fine. The person who is walking up behind you is stomping along in very heavy boots. They have absolutely no intention of being silent. As they walk up behind you, this is the 6 foot tall, 4.5 foot wide human man. He's got long, glossy black hair that's in a ponytail pulled back. He has the kind of skin where it's not going to tan, it's going to burn, and it has burned for so long that it's just permanently burned now. So he's like red with a lot of peeling going on.
Poor buddy.
No.
And-
Oh god.
Yeah, and he's wearing like a khaki shirt that's got like several buttons open in the front. And right now he walks up to you all. He is holding a piece of paper in his hand, and he says, "You all look like adventurers."
Is it that obvious?
It's really obvious. You must have read my ad. And he holds open a piece of paper. It says, "Adventurers wanted." The R is backwards. Adventurers is spelled wrong in a couple of other ways. Additionally, at the bottom, it just has a picture of a gold coin. That's the entire thing.
Pietro is going to take out a very small pair of spectacles and like put them on his face, and they like magnetize to his face, and he bends over, reads the document. Did you have someone spell check this?
I did all the work myself.
I see. It's
Sorry.
it looks all right.
Hi,
Sora-
I'm Cinnamon. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I guess Sora will just like look him up and down and be like, there's this aloe vera cream that I find works really well. If you've been in the sun a lot, I don't know if like I can like see if I can remember the recipe, but it might do you some good.
Well,
What's
Sora,
this?
let's not be rude. Their skin might naturally be red.
Oh no, these are definitely a sunburn. I've been out on the sun all day long today, moving bags and boxes to get ready for my adventure. And now that you're here, we can leave.
What kind of
We-
adventure? I've decided to start asking now.
Well, that's a really good question. You see my fine boat over there, and he points at the boat that is just like barely listing above the water. We're just going to travel a little ways upriver into the jungle, where we will find an amazing treasure.
What kind of treasure?
Well, I don't mean to brag, but I don't know.
Impressive.
It's so ancient that there's not really a good record of it, but I have a map, and it shows me exactly where it is.
Is the map as good as your advertisement?
Oh no, they weren't nearly as good at spelling as I am. Also, it's in some other language.
What language?
Oh, I only know one language.
May I look at it?
Oh, sure. He holds up the map, which he has firmly grasped between two hands, and yeah, it seems. How's your Elven? Is it good?
No, nah.
Okay, right. Everyone else, it's Elven.
Great.
Yep.
You speak
It's
Elven,
kind of-
Pietro?
No.
Oh, I got excited for a
I've
second.
studied other things like giant. Not important. Cinnamon,
Yes.
quick question. Would your friend, the tiefling man, send us to this exact place because of this man here about to offer us this job?
I don't know.
I'm putting
I-
up a hand so that they can't hear me, but clearly they can hear me.
They're probably not smart enough to hear around a hand. It's okay.
That's fair, that's fair.
I don't know. I'm not really sure, but I feel like we've got to start asking about things. The last time I didn't ask about things, this happened. So, yeah, I'm learning things.
Learning is good. Learning is good. Shall we ask? Well, he does not know what the treasure is, but
But
Is
if the
it-
two of you want to go, I will help you.
Does it sound like the treasure might be shard-like in nature? Should we presume anything? Sora will also start talking behind her hand.
Would anybody like to read the map that is in Elven that he's holding in his hand?
I can read Elvish or Cinnamon if you want to read it.
Oh yeah, sure. How high up is he holding it? Do I have to
He's-
really?
Yeah, you do, but I mean, not so much that you wouldn't have to do that no matter what talking to this person. So,
All right. Yeah.
yeah.
Sure. I'll read it.
Okay,
Just-
it's very poetical and kind of like fancy Elven, but in short, it says there is a treasure that fell from the sky and was buried amongst our gold.
Cinnamon will read that out loud for them.
In English or
In common,
rather,
yes,
or
in
okay,
common.
right. See there's going to be a lot of gold and a sky treasure.
yes,
Cinnamon will turn around and do this. I think it's a shard.
It sounds like it. Yes, I agree. I'm very interested in the gold. Yes,
Me as
we
well.
we will accompany you.
That's great. I'm mostly in it for making a name for myself, but I mean, who really wants to pass up a big pile of gold, right?
Oh,
What
get it.
what was your name?
Captain Jack. They call me Captain Jack.
Oh,
Good.
you're the captain of that boat over there, then.
That boat over there, the Arowana. Fastest boat here.
And where is here?
Oh,
If
what,
you don't-
this dock or this port?
The port, the country, maybe.
Oh, well, you know, this is Port, scrolling up in chat. This is Port Zantashk.
Right.
It's not much to look at, but it's here and it's close. We're in Zentric, which you already
Zentric.
knew, because why wouldn't
Of
you know you're in
course.
Zentric already?
Yes, naturally.
No,
I was
we were
quizzing
well aware
you.
of
I
this,
knew.
of
I
course.
knew which continent we were on. I was paying
Good.
attention.
Good. I was testing you. All right, then let's go, Jack.
One
Okay.
question, Mr. Jack. Your boat is, I don't know anything about boats. Your boat is very,
Heavy.
very,
Full of adventure and gear. That's right. We're ready for any scenario.
is
You
it,
ex-
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead.
If all of us get into it, is it still going to float?
I mean, it's a boat.
I am quite heavy, Jack. I am made of metal.
It's a good point. We can take out some of the food.
Great. I agree. Who needs food?
Right.
All right. This sounds agreeable. Let's go.
With that, Captain Jack leads you back to the boat. As he is walking, he turns and he points at the elven person who is wearing all black with the very large sun hat and says, "And this is my first mate, Mettelais. He is a native of these parts. He's a guide and second in command."
Does Mettelais look like happy to be working for Captain Jack, or
his face in general is not a happy face. He is scowling at you in a way that is generally unpleasant. He is the Squidward of today's voyage, just so we're clear. He is just going to be unpleasant the whole time.
Okay.
I tip
Hi.
my very large black hat to him and his large black hat.
That's a cool
And how-
hat.
And how Cinnamon, of course, greets him the same way she does everybody. Hi,
He
I'm
just does
Cinnamon.
small head shakes.
Just gonna grip his hand and shake it up and down and say,
I very slowly nod. Right.
The boat's over there.
Very quick turn, very quick walk towards the boat.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so as you walk on the boat, yes, it immediately lists down at the water. You hear like some water slosh over the sides, but Captain Jack is quickly in the back, and you see him take a very large bag and throw it back on the dock, and like the boat starts slowly rising back up. Then he goes over and takes a barrel and throws that out, and that was heavy because immediately the boat starts well above the water level. So things are pretty good now. That was easy.
Good. Glad that was no trouble. How many other people are on the boat with us right now, Jack?
Well, so he's counting Cinnamon, and he's counting Sora, and he counts you, and he counts himself. And then Mettelais is now over to your left, just kind of like has silently appeared to your left. So then he points at Mettelais. Says, there's 5 people on the boat right now.
Good. I just wanted to know if you had hired anyone else or if it was just us.
You know, the fewer adventurers we take, the more treasure there is per adventurer.
that is true.
That is
Facts.
a statement.
Cool.
One question for those of us that eat things. Is there other food that you didn't throw out of the boat?
Oh yeah, I didn't throw all the food overboard. That would be no. There's food.
He sounds so sure of himself.
Good enough for me.
Right. How long is the journey, do you suppose?
Well, Mettelais, take a look at the map. How long is it going to take? And he holds the map out with 2 hands towards Mettelais, who just scowls at it. 2 days.
Sounds easy.
Captain Jack says, yep, same as last time I asked him. 2 days.
You seem very knowledgeable, Captain Jack. I feel safer already with you here.
Well, wait until I get the Arowana underway, because there's an engine on this boat. You don't even have to paddle it or push it. There's no sails. The boat just goes by itself.
Ah, it's like me.
I guess it's like, yeah. He seems pretty tickled by that, and puts the boat in gear, and it kind of like starts backing out.
I give the boat a nice pat.
The Warforged boat. Okay, so the boat kind of like does a little maneuver around the dock and starts going up the riverway, which starts out fairly wide because this is where all the traffic is, and there's boats kind of maneuvering around back and forth. And I'm going to make a roll for Captain Jack to see how well this goes, just to instill you all with confidence.
Love this
so
man.
Let's see how he does with his boat handling. Yeah, that's a total of 5.
Oh,
so it's fine. The boat that he hits does not do anything bad back to you. He just kind of like waves, and then you hear some distant cursing. And how's everybody's dwarven?
Nah.
Non-existent.
Fine. Everything's great.
Sounds good.
Sora will be like, so with this amazing technology this boat has, did you design this? Are you like an expert in this boating technology? I'm not familiar with anything like this. Tell me more.
You were asking Captain Jack this?
Yes.
The boat, first off, it's not very loud, just so everybody knows, but he seems to be having a problem with it being loud for him because he's very loud suddenly. And he says, no, I didn't design it. I just bought it like this. This is how it came.
Why are they shouting?
What?
Why are they shouting?
Oh, I don't know. Isn't that what you do on boats?
If it's loud...
That person we just passed back there, they were shouting. I thought you just shout.
Sora is really quickly regretting starting this line of conversation. She'll go and sit at the back of the boat away from him.
Perfect. The only problem with being at the back of the boat is that is where Mettelais is currently scowling. So the back of the boat seems to have the most shade, and Mettelais is staying there very stiffly, not doing anything. But now you're also in the same space. You're within their personal space of like 20 feet. So
you're from here. You've adventured before?
Yep.
Sora will just return back. She'll come back to Cinnamon and the rest of the group and be like, I don't know where to go here.
I'm not good at talking to living people either. It's okay, Sora.
If you've ever seen like a 5-year-old in a new location, that's exactly what Cinnamon is like. She is touching everything that she could possibly touch, probably things that she shouldn't touch. And she has just adopted Captain Jack's mannerisms because she's never been on a boat. So she just assumes that whatever he's doing is correct and that's how you're supposed to act on a boat. She's like, everything is so amazing. I love boats.
Oh, the 21-year-old shouting now too. Good.
So let's see. Are there any particular rules anybody wants to make or anything you're curious about? Or shall we just let the boat continue on its course for a bit and see what happens?
I think at the very end of our conversation with Jack about the shouting, Pietro is going to reach over and just give him a quick little tap on the shoulder and be like, "You're a very good Captain, Jack. Keep on steering as well." And I'm going to cast guidance on him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he'll benefit from that. That's a good idea.
In case he needs to roll again.
I mean, I didn't intend to roll a natural one when I was rolling for him, but I did hope I was going to roll a natural one.
That's, you always hope for a natural one. It's more fun.
I really do. So with that, you continue on up the river. So let's talk about some excellent adjectives to describe being in this part of Eberron. Hot, humid, mosquito-filled. I don't know if that actually counts as an adjective, but it is what you are experiencing right now.
It's a good adjective.
Yeah, all of these things are currently going on, and it's just like generally unpleasant.
I think that Pietro's okay, because I don't think Warforged are affected by heat, and I think the mosquitoes wouldn't be going for him for obvious reasons.
Right. Yeah.
Pietro's just like chilling on the side of the boat, looking at the flora and the fauna, like, "Oh, this is beautiful. I've never seen anything like this." I'm just gonna look over to the rest of the group who are like sweating and like maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I think Sora, like after seeing how everybody else has been acting, has taken some solace in like Pietro's like calm in the situation. I think she's gonna try to like meditate or just like sit and like retreat into herself for a little bit, like do some like monk introspection. How successful that is with all the mosquitoes and shouting, I'm not sure, but she's at least trying to like sit there and relax for a little bit.
That's pretty good. How about Cinnamon?
Have you ever been in the back of a car with a 2-year-old and like a 7-year-old? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And that's just her the whole time. Miserable, of course.
The good news is that Captain Jack does not seem to have any problem with patience. There's plenty of patience for questions like that, almost like he doesn't remember that you just asked him a few minutes before. But nope, not yet. You're not there yet. That's what you figured out.
I love this captain so much.
Well, we all have our strengths, right?
Yes,
and that's what we've
yes.
got. Okay, now I have a question for all of you. Since you're the ones who are playing this game, does one of you want to roll the die for my random events in the jungle table, or would you rather chat rolls the die?
Chat, of course.
Chat.
Okay.
Let's leave it up
Yeah.
to fate.
Chat, we got to roll a d12, and it sounds like, okay. Let's see what chat comes up with.
I feel like
It will probably be great. I mean, all of these things are interesting. They are all things that could happen in a jungle.
Mm-hmm.
So while we're getting ready for all that to happen, Cinnamon, you've discovered a lot of things in this boat. You guys have an anvil, you guys have nails, you have the special, like the piton type things used for climbing cliffs. There is a few pickaxes. You guys have just everything. There is an entire second engine in case there's anything wrong with this engine, just sitting there in pieces, so tons and tons of stuff. Okay, we got a 4. Perfect. So would anybody like to make a survival roll?
I can.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Excellent.
Good.
I'm going to tell you guys that's not a success in case anybody else wants to make the roll.
I'll give it a shot.
I'll try it.
Sure. Okay, we're doing better.
Hold on, here we go.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a moment. Okay, good stuff. So the good news is Captain Jack is getting you all lost. The better news is that you're all catching Captain Jack at getting you lost. So it makes sense that right now Sora is not going to be the one to figure this out because Sora is meditating.
Yeah.
And very effectively, despite all the mosquitoes and everything like that. Maybe like you've got a little bit of sun soul energy going so the mosquitoes don't want to be right next to you.
It's true. Maybe she's like glowing a little bit and they're just like straying away.
Yeah, maybe there's like a little bit of infrared heat. They don't like that thing. So with that, we know that's one reason that wouldn't work. But Captain Jack, when Cinnamon asks like, maybe the 20th or the 21st time, are we there yet? Turns around to show her the map and says, no, see, we're not, we got to go from here all the way over here. So we've got a long way. While he's saying this, he is not steering the boat. And you are at the classic fork in the river. And the boat is pointed the wrong direction for sure. So as he's pointing at this part of the map to Cinnamon, you can see the map, you can see the boat, you can see the front of the boat going like that. Pietro has none of the distractions, but all of that advantage as well. The boat is definitely going to go down the wrong fork. What do you want to do?
I'd love to run forward and think I know which way I'm steering the boat in the right direction. I imagine it's like the same as driving a car.
I mean, and the good news is Cinnamon doesn't know how to do that either, so it's perfect.
No.
Right? So with that, sure, why don't you go ahead and make if you had for some reason pilot watercraft, but let's just call it a dexterity roll.
Oh, great. That's totally fine.
You're a rogue. You're good at dexterity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Look
what
at that.
happens.
You're like, I got this. It's fine. Okay, so with this, you have rolled, and the boat, you figure out after about 1 second that's not the direction you turn the wheel, but then when you turn the wheel, you get it right, and you start going the other way. And Captain Jack's like, hey, if you want to steer the boat for a while, you can steer the boat for a while.
Yes!
Just keep doing what you were doing. That's great.
This is so great!
It's like you were made to steer. You're doing wonderful.
She's just steering, and she's like... letting the 16-year-old drive, no license.
The 21-year-old.
Right, 21-year-old.
21, it's fine.
21-year-old with no license is all about the same, right? It's not going to get any better than that. So the boat is continuing on its way, and things are fairly mellow and smooth. You have seen a crocodile off in the distance. There was some sort of like very odious, like very bad smelling cloud that kind of rolled past you and kept going on its way. And Pietro, you can't prove it, but there's a moment where you swear that Mettelais was behind you and like making a motion like he might have pushed you over the side of the boat for a second there.
Cool.
But no one else saw it, and you're not sure it happened.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for that man. I'm just gonna keep one of my eyes out on them, real careful.
That's fair. That's fair. So this whole first day, just you continue to go upriver. What do you do about nightfall and about the idea of people getting tired? What's going to happen?
Before we go to sleep or like handle that, could I approach Sora while she's meditating? And I'm just gonna like sit down next to her and like cross my legs and like kind of just like stare at her for a second.
She'll open one eye and see you in front of her.
Oh,
What's
don't. Hi, hello. I don't mean to interrupt. Are you praying?
Not exactly. It's kind of hard to explain. I would describe it more as being mindful, aware, sort of bringing myself to my center. Do you pray?
In a way, sort of.
Sort of.
It's more not necessarily the active praying you will find from many religions of the world, but it is a prayer of a sort. But I was curious, you seem bothered by the bugs a bit.
Yeah, I've never encountered anything like this back where I'm from. I'm usually friends with all the bugs that go around me, so to see them so hostile, it's a nice trick to get them to go away, I guess.
Mm.
But also, between you and me, it was getting to be a little bit too much. With everybody to be, I don't know.
Well, yes, I do worry that as intelligent and strong as Captain Jack is,
Of course.
that he might not be steering us in the right direction sometimes, you know. It's
No, and it's a good thing we got Cinnamon, who seems to surprisingly know how to steer the boat.
Oh, she's doing great. Yes. What do you make of that Mettelais fig character? Do you think of them?
Well, I tried to be friendly and say hi. I have a feeling I don't think he wants to be here, but I don't.
You didn't happen to see them move at all from their position on the boat?
Would I have noticed, do you think, the pushing thing?
That's a good question. Do you want to make an insight check? Let's do an insight check.
Okay.
I mean, Sora is so good at meditating in general that you don't have to be awake to know that somebody is up to something shady, I think.
Right. Okay, so she'll be like, look, I didn't want to call attention to it, but something's not right.
Right? I think I saw him try to push me over the boat or something. I don't know. I do not trust that man.
Look, I'm with you. I think we should just keep an eye out for now, and then, I mean, if anything happens in the coming days, I'm not even sure if we'll get returned to that dimension with that tiefling, but
I'm hoping once we get the crystal, they will know somehow. But
maybe.
Let me know if the bugs bother you again. I can help with that.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'll stand up and I guess it's getting late in the day, so prepare for sleeping stuff.
Okay. So as night starts to fall, Captain Jack lets out like a big yawn like this and says, well, it's probably far enough for today. Look, if it's all the same to you, we'll just sleep on the boat. My plan was I'll just stop driving the boat.
Who will drive the boat then?
I could tie it to a tree.
Yeah, do you have an anchor, Captain?
I don't know. I could look for an anchor. Also, Mettelais, you haven't taken a turn yet. Do you want to take a turn? And he looks over, and Mettelais is standing there and just kind of like slow glides up towards the wheel of the boat and says, yes. There we go. Mettelais will take the night boat driving, and we can all get some sleep.
Mettelais, are you sure you do not want to take shifts? Will you be good all night?
Yes.
I'm gonna really quickly just use my Eyes of the Grave and, just see if there are any undead nearby.
Okay. That's a good call. Are there any undead nearby? No.
Within 60 feet of me? Oh, darn.
Within 60 feet of you, no. He's just got that vibe. Like, if he was to suddenly get bitten by a zombie, he would be fine. Like, no one would notice.
Yeah.
But otherwise.
All right, I feel a little bit better, but still not great.
That's very, very fair.
Cinnamon's gonna go up to Sora and say, I feel like the captain wasn't steering us in the right way, and I only really need to meditate for like 4 hours a night.
Really?
Do Eladrin also only sleep for 4 hours a night?
That's so crazy. No, I tend to trance, and then I will either meditate or rest for the rest of the night. I mean, we could trade, because between you and me, I don't know if I want to. You get what I'm saying?
Pietro leans down. I can keep an eye out all night as well. I only need the 6 hours, but I'm fully aware.
He's funny looking.
Maybe a little bit, yes.
Okay, sounds like we got a plan.
All right. Pietro's gonna back up and kind of like, is there a mast on the ship, or is it? There's no mast. It's motor run. Is there anywhere that I could like sit down and like prop myself up to have eyes on the wheel?
Yes. The only downside of this is the entire ship is just deck. So as you're doing that, Captain Jack is going to be lying down like right next to you.
I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's about it.
All right. I'm just gonna watch the whole night. Just watch the wheel. Watch this man's.
Okay. And how about Cinnamon and Sora? What are you going to do?
Sora will volunteer to take the first shift of like non-trancing, and then we'll trance the rest of the night.
Okay.
And Cinnamon will find some open spot on the deck to go to sleep or trance.
Yeah. So everyone is resting and relaxing and so forth. Mettelais is piloting the boat. Oddly enough, does not do anything at all suspicious. The course seems very true. It seems like exactly where you should be going if you were following the map. And every once in a while, he does have to walk away from the wheel, like over to where Captain Jack is laying down, holding the map across his chest like it's a blanket, and just takes a look at the map, walks back. The captain does not let the map go even in his sleep. So with all that going on, you seem to be fine come morning. Captain Jack gets up, stretches, puts the map away for a second, and says, I'm hungry. Anybody else hungry?
No.
Food? Yeah, hungry?
I love food.
This food that you spoke of that you left on the ship, I'd love to see it.
Yeah, okay. And he goes over and he reaches down into like the tiny little cargo hold, and he pulls out a barrel and puts it down on the deck. And then he pulls the top off of that and takes a cup and puts it out and hands it to you, Sora, and does the same thing for you, Cinnamon, does the same thing for himself. And you all now have a large cup full of protein powder.
Yes.
Sora is thrilled. How much space is on the boat?
How much space is on the boat? This boat's about 20 feet from end to end.
End to end. Okay. I think Sora's gonna have some, and then she's gonna do some of her like morning exercises, like some push-ups, maybe like some crunches, those types of things. The protein powder is hitting.
That's great. And just so we're clear, this is a like 20-ounce cup full of protein powder, full to the brim. And that is it. Just protein powder.
Oh, just the powder.
There's nothing else. Just powder. Just so we're clear.
Just scoop it out of the river. Just scoop some water out.
I was going to say, are we in fresh water?
It's fresh. It's there. There's no salt in the water. I'm not going to speak to its freshness.
Adds flavor.
That's extra protein.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think Cinnamon's ever had a protein shake before.
Well, the good news is this is also the unflavored kind. It's just protein.
Just gonna do one of those like pinky dips, tries it, spits it out very discreetly, just like a.
Or we'll be like mid push up and be like, it's really important to sort of like refuel your body after a long, like she starts like going into it. She's like, back at the monastery, that's what we were always working on.
Pietro's gonna find a, oh, hold on, excuse me. There are police cars going by. Sorry. Pietro's gonna find a secluded spot at the back of the boat. Probably won't be that secluded because it's an open deck. And he's just gonna sit down and reach into one of his packs and pull out a censer, kind of like an incense lantern. Here they come. Sorry about that. He's gonna pull out a small incense lantern and he's gonna like quickly light some incense inside of it and just kind of place it and let this like very like purplish pink smoke kind of rise out of it and like fall to the ground. And he's just gonna open his book, read a few words, doing his morning rituals.
Okay. And you have absolute peace and quiet and everything's pleasant there on the back of the boat. Maybe some occasional sounds of working out from Sora. Here are two consequences. Number one, Mettelais is looking over your shoulder, which is no consequence other than being creepy. And number two, Sora, you're really good at working out. And Captain Jack would also love to join your workout. So after you get a couple reps into like you're warming up, you notice Captain Jack is like standing over the side and he's like doing like head bobs and like throwing punches in the air and so forth. This is like, okay, when I wake up in the morning, I like to do 120 push-ups. I mean, can we?
No, be my guest. This is all a part of my normal training and upkeep, as you know.
Okay, Cinnamon, you can stay right, and he just gets down on the deck and starts doing push-ups with you.
Sure. I don't know whether to make like a check for this or just like enjoy like the funny situation. Like,
would you like to make a check for doing athletics? Feel free to do a check.
Dipping protein powder and like watching you guys do this. Great.
Yeah.
I'm so much better at acrobatics, but I guess this is more athletics. Okay. I'll take it.
I mean, if you want to modify your routine to be more acrobatics based, Captain Jack is not going to keep up with you on acrobatics for sure.
Sure. I think she's moved on to like calisthenics maybe and is doing like all sorts of like different stretches.
Okay. Very impressive. Very impressive. So Captain Jack, let's see what Captain Jack would roll for his athletics check here. Because my rolls have not been successful so far, but let's see. Oh, well. He is doing a lot, but his form is adequate, not great. There's a lot of wasted energy and like activity in what he's doing. He really doesn't need to like try to clap every time he does a push-up, but he does. And so the problem is he's done like 30 in the time that you've done your whole routine, but enthusiastic 30.
Great effort. Wow.
Yeah, thanks. It's really hot out here. I probably shouldn't do more than that because last time I passed out and I woke up the next day and, well, there's a boat to pilot, so.
Of course.
So Captain Jack sticks his head over the side of the boat. You hear a noisy drinking, and I'm going to ask chat to make one more like middle of the boat. Can chat do one more like D12 roll? If we could do that, that would be so great. Because then we will know what we finish up with as we get to this temple ruin. Really more of a ruin at this point. All right. That's a good number. So here's the thing. It's protein powder, right? And everything seems like it's going fine. And Cinnamon, after you've done several of these like protein powder samples, there's like a sort of warning label on bugs. Okay, everyone, bugs with lots and lots of legs. Is this good or is this bad?
I'm fine.
All right. So you do get a rather long centipede crawling up out of the protein powder, like a little while later on. I don't know if that's going to detract from its nutritional value for Cinnamon.
Yeah, Cinnamon is immediately going to react how Faye would probably react to a bug in her powder, which is just scream very loudly and immediately throw it overboard.
Okay. Well, with that, the protein powder goes down, and Captain Jack goes, "Hey, that's a lot of protein powder."
I was feeding it to the crocodiles. They looked hungry.
Oh. He looks over the side of the boat, and I'm sure there will eventually be crocodiles, but he doesn't see any right then. So that's good. So the boat continues up the way. Yeah. After a while, the consensus from everyone who looks at the map is this has got to be the spot. You've gotten far enough inland that you must be where you're going. And according to the map, you've got a very short overland hike from the water up to like a rise where you should be able to see the X on the map.
Seems like a trivial hike to our location. Are you ready, Jack?
Says, yeah, we're just going to take the essentials, nothing more than that. So he grabs a rope with one hand, grabs an axe with the other hand, says, do you think we need anything else?
Well, I'll be bringing my my equipment, of course, but no, I'll be fine. Cinnamon, Sora?
Yeah, Sora will turn to Cinnamon and be like, I mean, do you think there's anything we'll need to get what you need?
I don't think so. Last time I just got it, and then we were kaboomed out of there.
We will be with you for the entire journey, Jack. There is nothing to fear.
Exactly.
Great. Okay. And Mettelais, you good? And he looks over at Mettelais, and they're just standing there just like they were before. Same exact outfit, not holding a single thing. Yeah.
Seems all right.
I don't know if we already did an insight check. We're just so suspicious of Mettelais because he's so scowly. But can Sora try to get a read on him again? As they're about to
of course.
step out?
Yeah, feel free to make insight checks on Mettelais. Yeah.
Maybe they're just grumpy.
Yeah. Let's see. How good is Mettelais at being deceptive? Better. So, they're fine.
Okay.
Maybe they're like a winter Eladrin kind of soul, They're just they're crabby.
It's like the winter court. Never. She's thinking back to. I don't want to get into it.
Could I also try and roll an insight just to
I'm just gonna let that number stand if that's good with you, and then yeah. If you want me to roll again,
let the number stand. I want to see if I can beat it.
Okay. Ooh, okay. So, I mean, Mettelais is enthusiastic about this part of the journey.
Mm-hmm.
This is why they are here, but they're not giving anything away. They want to get where you're going.
Okay. Good to know. This is good. All right. Jack, do you think there will be combat or any sort of fighting between us and your treasure?
Jack holds up the axe and says, well, if there is, there's still 5 of us, so we should be good.
Good counting. Right, well, I'll prepare for battle then. And Pietro's going to reach into his bag and pull out a large circular shield and kind of just clamp it onto his arm, and it magnetizes. Just has that held there, and he's going to take the sensor that he lit the incense in from before and just kind of strap it on a chain around his torso, and it's hanging at his side.
All right, nice. So Captain Jack reviews the map again, orients it, figures out where everyone's going, and says, okay, so we just head off this way. And just starts walking out into the distance.
There he goes. Should we tell him he's going the wrong way?
You think he could figure it? No, we should tell him.
Jack.
Yeah.
The little bit more to the right.
The other west.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. And Jack turns and starts walking in the direction that you've indicated.
All right. Let's go. Also, Sora. I don't know if you've been keeping an eye on our friend, and I kind of just motion over to Mettelais, but he seems quite eager to reach these ruins we are going to find. Perhaps he is also after the gold, and I give a little wink, and it's one green eye just flits out and then flits back on.
Okay. Huh. And I think Sora will kind of I guess as we're all walking, we'll kind of bring Cinnamon into the conversation too. Be like, how do you feel about that Mettelais guy? But keep your voice down.
Not great. But I'm a good talker. Maybe I can go talk to him? Get something out of him?
That is a great idea.
Okay. And Cinnamon does the whole drop back from the group thing so that she's walking alongside Mettelais.
It's amazing that you knew from the dynamic that Mettelais was going to be behind you all. That's perfect. So yes, Mettelais is just back there walking silently. And now that you're next to them, they're walking more silently and casting their eye over at you every once in a while.
Hi, I feel like we haven't had a chance to chat. I'm Cinnamon. I'm from outside of the Forest of Sharn. I'm on this adventure with my friends. How do you know Captain Jack?
Work.
What kind of work?
The boat.
Oh, that makes sense. How long have you known him?
3 days.
That's not a very long time. What made you want to work for him? I'm just so interested about boats. I really liked piloting them. But yeah, why did you work for him?
There's a threshold, there's a meter filling up somewhere off screen where it's and after a second, I am now going to roll. Let's see. What is this roll? This is coming down to, I think it's going to be a performance, because what Mettelais is going to try to do is a classic look over there and move away from you quickly. And I don't think he's good at that. I think he's going to be quite bad at it. So here's my roll. The die is definitely on my side in this case. So with that, do you want to roll an insight roll to see if you're going to get tricked into looking the other way?
I do. Unfortunately, I had 0. Let's see how this goes.
Oh, Mettelais is so happy. That's the only thing So he just goes look. And when he goes just this very abruptly, pointing the finger, there's a look of shock in his eye. And he is fast. He has run all the way up to next to Captain Jack in that time that you've been doing that.
I'm gonna go back to my friends then.
Thor will be like, dang, what did you say?
Well, I just asked him why he was working for Captain Jack. Apparently he's only known him for 3 days.
Longer than we have. So
we've known him for 1 day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's not a very chatty fellow.
No, it does not seem it. Cinnamon, we should all keep an eye on him, yes?
Okay.
I fear he may be making a play for the thing that you need.
Well, I have a rapier and I have a dagger.
Oh, blades, good. Well, if snuffing out his life is the thing you want to do, I will not stop you.
So the hike continues like this for a little while. That's what we need. It's just
casual
that.
discussions of murder.
Just go ahead and kill him. It's fine. The hike is going to continue on for a while. And as you get up over the top of a little hill, you can see in the distance a temple. It is very old. Calling it a temple is so generous at this point, because what it really looks like is someone took a flower pot made of terracotta and just turned it over and then hit it with a hammer a couple of times. It's old, broken. You can see there's a large fissure and the top is kind of broken in like this as well. But there is a very clear entrance still. And it is exactly where the X should be on the map. And even Captain Jack has figured this out. He is pointing down enthusiastically at the ruin and says, that's got to be it. That looks like the kind of place where you'd find an ancient treasure.
Are you sure?
Well, I mean, the map has a big X. X is for treasure, right?
Usually.
Why would they lie?
I just want to know that you, Captain Jack, are sure.
I mean, I looked at the map all of this time. It's right there.
All right. Good. You are ready.
Okay. He rolls it up and sticks it in his pocket. Let's get down there and find that treasure.
Right.
So you begin the
Walks
downhill march. Yeah, it's still hot. Not as hot as before because there's now more jungle cover, so you get a lot of diffusion of that sunlight. And as you're heading down deeper into the valley, it's staying humid. And the temple, by the time you get to the base of it, it's very, very tall. This is like, 50 feet tall at this point, still as a ruin. So it is good for a few stories. And the outside is very ornamental. There's a lot of stonework that's worn down over time. A lot of the pictures that are here around the base, they look like faces. And all of these faces are depicted with like a scowling look. They have large bulbous eyes, heavy beards, and a lot of them have like top knots or like hair ornaments and so forth on their head. And I think this is probably around the time that for Pietro being a speaker of giant, you might think that these are giant ruins.
Oh.
As one does find in Zendrick.
Explains why it's so tall.
Yeah, so really it's like actually quite a short temple, right? I mean,
Yeah, it's just
a story tall.
It's like, bottom floor upstairs. It's whatever.
So with all that, we're heading towards the temple, and I think that since this is pretty much where I was planning on doing this anyways, and since Faye's having some video trouble, why don't we take our break here, and then when we come back, we'll find out what is inside the temple.
Perfect. Cool.
So Scrat's probably going to be here in a second to take care of that for us. In the meantime, we can all just vamp and,
Yeah.
Yes, indeed, chat. Take 5 minutes to break bio, stretch your legs, and all that good stuff. We'll be right back with fixed cameras. And during the break, we'll have an advert from our sponsors, the Deck of Many. Enjoy. We'll see you shortly. Welcome in, Raiders! Thank you so much for that raid. Please check out our content warning. We are taking a hot break right now. We just had a little camera problem. Zoom got a little jumpy. I hope Greg was able to avoid those issues. We've just done a restart and all that good stuff to get Faye settled back in. Whilst we are on this break, I have an advert to play for you all. I wonder if you all raiding in have heard of the Deck of Many's brand new Kickstarter. It's pretty hype. It was funded in around 15 minutes. Check out this video.
Oh no, Jimmy! Heckna's after us! What are we gonna do? Sword beats face! Ha! Looks like you really lost your edge, huh? Huh? God, I'm funny. So, I guess weapons don't... Weapons don't work! Hey, why aren't you laughing? Oh, I know. Let me hit you with the punchline! Wait, my animated spell cards! They can save us! Well, jeepers, Jane. Blast them! Avada Kedavra! Right in the funny bone. Bleh. I really don't like that guy. We did it! Yeah!
Defeat your greatest foes with the most powerful spells. Animated spells are back, with level 6 to 9. Each spell card features 8 frames of looping animation that makes the spell come to life, and contains all the spell details on the back. And for the first time, you can divine with a fully animated tarot card deck. Will you read Fortune or Folly?
Jane! Heckna's reforming! Not on my watch! Meteor swarm!
Go to animatedspells.com and back the Kickstarter today.
Okay, we're back and we're in the jungles of Zindrick, stalking towards this temple, this 50-foot ruin that's kind of fallen in on itself. And there is a wide entrance. It's kind of like a, not quite a rectangle trapezoid out in front of you. And it is dark. That's everything. It's not really looking great, but it is a temple, and this is where the X on your map is led. So what do you want to do about it?
How dark is it? Like, we can't see anything, or it's difficult to traverse?
Do you have any sort of assistive vision of any kind, or?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. So it is dark inside to the point that people who have dark vision are going to be using that dark vision for all of their seeing. If you don't have dark vision, like you and Captain Jack, you're probably just going to be guessing a lot. Maybe torches would be good.
I'm going to go ahead and kind of spark a little bit of fire in my sensor and pull out some of the smoke and wrap it around my shield and cast light.
Okay, there you go. That's good because Captain Jack did not bring a torch.
Good.
So
well, my
he
shield
did
is
literally
now...
bring an axe and a coil of rope. That is what he brought.
I have a lantern in my adventurers pack.
Perfect.
Right. Well, you all are the professional adventurers. So with that, it is now less dark. So what you see is a wide stone pathway in front of you that looks like it should branch over to the left and the right. But on both sides, you immediately see signs of disrepair. The temple has been effectively caved inwards. So like all the walls are falling in, everything's falling down. But you have this wide open way that's here in front of you that you can go down.
Okay. I think Pietro will just stride on forward confidently, keeping his eye out for any sort of danger within his purview, but otherwise making his way deeper into the temple.
Yeah, Sora will ask, hey, Captain Jack, your map just led us to the treasure. It didn't give us any insight into what's inside this temple, did it?
No, I mean, it's a pretty small map. It really only covers this one part of the continent. And I mean, the X is pretty small, so no. There's some writing over here, but I don't read that.
I can read Elvish. What is it? Am I able to see what it says?
Yeah, it's that same blurb you saw earlier. This is very brief, and it's kind of poetic, but it basically just says you should expect a lot of gold and a treasure that fell from the sky.
Okay. Well,
if the treasure fell from the sky, it is likely up, no? Should find a way to the...
If it fell, maybe it's down.
Oh boy. What do we think? What do we think, gang? Up or down? We should probably find if there is a way up or down first, no?
Cinnamon, you've done this before. What do you think?
Last time it was much easier to find. There was none of this looking around, but sure, I'll roll a survival check to see if I can find some stairs up or down.
Okay, that sounds good. You can roll that survival check if you'd like.
I'll help you.
Okay.
Give you advantage.
All right.
Okay. So here's the good news. There are no stairs because everything is broken. But
right.
The other part that is fun is as you walk down this hallway, this is the only time I'm going to be the mean DM to you tonight, because you said you wanted to make a survival check to look for stairs. You didn't say anything about looking for the traps. So of course you did set off the gigantic array of traps that's going down this corridor. This corridor is a classic 80s movie, Indiana Jones. You've walked into a room where there are pictures lining up both sides. They are all very crude faces going like this. And apparently the reason they're going like that is because all their mouths shoot tiny poisonous darts at you as you walk down the hallway. So with that, Pietro will have a lesser effect, but I do think that you should both make a dexterity saving throw.
Cool.
Are you technically immune to poison? Is that a thing?
I am. I have advantage on saving throws against poison and have resistance to poison.
Great. Okay, so it's just resistance. That's good to know.
Yes.
Okay, so with this, the good news is...
Oh.
See, I wasn't even going to make Sora do the check, because I figured Sora might have stayed back, but no. Sora not only was there, just
I confidently
dancing.
made the check. Yeah,
Yeah.
Just dancing through all these.
Like in a spy movie when there's lasers around, I'm picturing that type of evasion.
That's good stuff.
So good. Faye, you failed the check by 1. Just So you know that's how it went. Yeah. So with a DC 14 being the goal, we do have to take some poison damage. Everyone who got hit takes 2 points of piercing damage. Okay. And I don't think Pietro's immune to that or resistant to that, right?
No.
And then we're going to make a advantaged, in Pietro's case, Constitution saving throw versus poison damage. Okay, so that's a fail. It's a 15 we're shooting for. And then Faye, you also need to make it for Cinnamon.
Okay.
Con saving throw versus poison.
Saving throw.
Okay, that part went well for you.
Oh,
so
goodness.
Pietro, somehow you have taken some poison damage. You're both going to take the same amount since you had resistance. So each of you takes 5 points of poison damage. I guess that the ancient inhabitants of this temple knew how to make some really good poison that even affected the Warforged a little bit.
All right. Yeah, I'll kind of like hold up my shield in surprise, but like some of it like nicks across the neck and the face.
How do you think Cinnamon gets the poison dart?
I think Cinnamon is the one who's like doing the survival check, and so she's the one that like is walking down the hallway first.
Like stepping on all the
traps. Like stepping on all the traps as they go, and as she steps on one, as she like steps on one, like it goes down, triggers the trap, and before she can jump out of the way, it just like shoots her right in the neck.
Yeah. So, and then Sora, darts just start spitting out of these gigantic mouths on the side.
Trained for a situation like this, and she'll like follow people, but like ducking out of the way at the same time. I wonder what happens to Captain Jack in this situation.
Yeah, we gotta know.
I gotta know.
Well, that's a great question. Let's find out how Captain Jack does. No. Captain Jack, again, one short. So Captain Jack does like a bob and weave, like he's going to be okay when he sees that first dart go, and he just bob weaves right into like one eye, like in his cheek.
Oh, no.
I imagine he's pretty good at Constitution. I just have to not put any weird characters in this. Nope. Yeah, Captain Jack looks pretty green around the gills, and his face like puffs up a little bit. And yeah, he's feeling that.
I'm gonna kind of like pull the dart out very carefully and just like, you'll be all right, you'll live, and we're like gonna have a little pat on the cheek.
Thanks. Yeah.
Warrior scar.
So there's Captain Jack.
Did Mettelais follow us into the room?
That's a great question.
Where is that?
He is standing in the doorway, and I would like you all to imagine the faintest snicker coming from Mettelais as he just continues standing in the doorway.
Well, it's safe now. You can come along.
Yeah, the traps do seem to be out of darts now. They have run out.
Oh.
Mettelais walks forward gingerly, and you see him get to the middle and like take a movement to the side. Like he walks around this big decorative plate that was on the floor and just starts walking towards
we just didn't see. Good. Right, well. Onward and upward, maybe?
Yeah, so you found what you have is you have a walkway that goes towards like the central part of this temple, and it just dead ends in a rock slide, like a collapsed wall. And then to the sides, it looks like, based on the way the paths branch, there would have been ways that went to the left and right. Those are also collapsed. As far as you can tell, everything again has just fallen inwards in this temple.
Every option, like every way we could go, is collapsed.
Correct.
Can I take like a closer look at some of this like rubble, I guess, or like see, like, is it movable or does it look like it's like completely blocked?
That's a good question. What do you want to use for that?
I think it would be like investigation, like if I'm like looking around. I'm not very good at it. That sounds great.
Let's do that.
Yeah, my investigative abilities are not.
Yeah, so you look at it, and as soon as you start like moving a piece of stone, like a lot more stone starts falling down, and there's like a little bit of the ceiling starts falling on you.
Sora will kind of just like lean against it casually, like she wasn't just messing with it like 15 seconds before.
I could take a look. I'm a bit more rock resistant, if you will.
Be my guest. I didn't find anything, so
I'm gonna take a little bit of smoke that's like trailing out of my sensor and kind of just like wrap it around my eyes, and kind of just like breathe it in and cast guidance on myself, and then I will go ahead and roll an investigation check as well.
Ooh, very nice.
And then
But here's the thing. Ooh, yeah.
So 25.
Really good. So here's the thing that you're discovering. First off, when you start moving stone, the exact same thing happens to you.
Mhm.
The big difference for you is when you move that stone and the top of the roof starts falling in onto you, you see clear daylight up ahead and over you. And your intuition tells you that although this wall has collapsed, the upper story is at least accessible.
Right. So it seems like if we make our way up there, find a safe route up, the upper floors are not as damaged as they are down here.
We'll follow you.
All right. Does it seem like there's a clear way to climb up the rocks to get to the sunlight and like make it up?
So if you all go outside and you take a look, the great thing about this building is, again, it's heavily ornamented.
Mhm.
So if you want to climb up big, like grimacing faces, you would very easily be able to climb story over story here.
Okay. Jack, how about you give it a climb, see if it's stable? You're our fearless leader.
He flexes for a couple of moments like this and does some toe touches and grabs his rope and coils it over his shoulder like that, and then goes, okay, I'll go up about as far as my rope reaches, and then I'll let it down in case you want to just get pulled up.
Sure. Good luck, buddy. And I give him some guidance.
And I'll
Okay.
give him a boost and like use the help action for him.
Oh, okay. There we go. Let's see. How do I do
Teamwork
that?
makes the dream work.
Let's see if that roll worked. Nope, I don't think that worked. Let's try this all individually then. So we'll roll first 2d20. Okay, one of those is a 5. That's great. And then we'll roll a d4. Okay, so that's an 8 here. And he does get to add a massive 7 to that. So the good news is that's a 15 total. But he really needed everybody's help for that. That was very bad for Captain Jack. So lots of sweating, lots of like missteps. There's a part where he steps on a nose and like almost slips his boot right off of it.
We all gasp.
Yeah, puts his hand on a horn to like stabilize himself, and the horn just breaks right off. Keeps climbing up like hand over hand, and then gets up to about the second floor. And yeah, just he's had the hardest time. This khaki shirt is all messy and it's covered in like green lichen, but he manages to tie the rope off to like a big, like let's say it's like a helmet, like a conical helmet like that piece, and then lets the rope down towards all of you.
Don't worry, Jack. If you fall, I can pick you up again.
He says, "What?"
Don't worry, Jack. If you fall, I can pick you up again.
Oh, are we supposed to shout in caves too?
I start climbing.
Maybe not.
You can feel the rope like it's very tense underneath your weight, but as you climb up, everything's going fine. You've got the rope. You're doing good.
Yeah, I'll follow up behind. I'll climb up as well.
Okay, and you're just like sailing up the rope. Very easy to go. Everything's stable. Everything's great.
I'm gonna keep an eye on Mettelais while Cinnamon's climbing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not climbing yet. I'm gonna say,
Oh yeah.
after you.
Mettelais just like scowls and then starts climbing. And he doesn't have to move very much
Little-
to go up this rope.
Just continues
But-
to just be like,
Okay, but everybody who is watching what's going on, go ahead and make a perception check unless you think you have something better.
Would my passive work as well?
If your passive is going to beat that 17, yeah, go for it.
My passive is 18.
Cool, I'm good with that. So Mettelais gets about halfway up, and he very clearly but stealthily is cutting the rope as he moves past a certain point. So when Cinnamon goes up, the rope is cut.
Oh,
Hold on a second there, Cinnamon. Is Mettelais up?
Yep, he's up now.
What
Sora will be like, "Oh my god, silly me! I totally forgot something down there," and we'll climb. We'll climb back down and like pretend to pick something up from the ground and be like, "Well, let's climb together."
Okay. And is there a way that you plan on overcoming this rope being cut?
Honestly, I was thinking of just like how high up are we?
How high up are you going to be at the top? Like
Yeah,
35 feet.
35 feet.
Yeah.
Sora's confident. Like if she knows that if she falls, that she feels like she could weather it. So she's just gonna climb down like free-handed, I think.
Okay. So yeah, it's a very power move. You know, you climb down freehand while this rope is just dangling here, and Mettelais is just like, So all that's going on, and Captain Jack is like, yeah, she really likes to work out. And you've gotten down to the bottom where Cinnamon is at. So okay.
Has Cinnamon tell that the rope has been cut or no?
No, Cinnamon's the only one who didn't figure it out, but he was pretty sneaky.
Right.
Yeah.
She's gonna use the rope. She thinks that the rope is not cut.
Hold on, Cinnamon. I think I dropped something near it. So Sora's gonna pretend to be looking for something around Cinnamon's feet and be like, don't act funny. I think Mettelais just cut that rope.
I'm gonna look.
She'll like continue. She'll like put a rock in her pocket as if she had dropped it.
I'm gonna look Mettelais in the eye, kick the rope down, and then let my rope down and tie it.
Okay. Yep. He recognizes that as being a move.
Not very nice.
Thanks. And Cinnamon will climb up the new rope.
Sora will like watch approvingly and will make eye contact with Pietro, like
Just a very subtle nod. Yes.
Well, with that, everyone gets up just fine. And now you're on this like second floor. And so this temple kind of like steps inwards a little bit, but it may be because of the fact that all the walls are falling down. When you're walking on it now, it feels slightly unstable. Like all of you walking on it's just enough where you can feel like, yeah, these stones aren't held together by mortar. They're held together by hopes and dreams. And it's been a while since anybody had those around here. So yeah, good luck. And you're doing okay.
I guess learning from the previous trapped hall, Sora's gonna, you know, she's not the best at figuring things out, but she's gonna like try and peek and look before she starts walking.
Okay. Do you want to go ahead and make an investigation check? I got to warn you, I didn't bring a lot of traps with me for this adventure, so.
But once the DM does something once,
okay.
then you have to.
That's why you do it one time. I know, it's great. Okay. So you look around, everything looks pretty good to you. The stone is definitely unstable, but not so much that it's actually falling down underneath your feet, just to the point where it's noticeable. Okay. And as you're climbing and getting farther up, you find yourselves like there's an opening where it looks like this would have been a normal room, like with a window that looked out and possibly up on the wall. So like a high window, but with the wall coming down the way it is. Now it's kind of looking directly up.
After like Sora had told Cinnamon that Mettelais has cut the rope, she's kind of pissed off. This whole time, I think every step she's like putting more rocks into Mettelais' pocket from behind, just to make climbing really hard for him.
That's great. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand roll. Oh, well.
Oh no.
I'm a thief. This is
he didn't do anything about it, but like you're walking and like there's rocks in his pockets, and just every once in a while he just like takes a rock out and puts it on the ground.
Just like a passive aggressive, like.
As I'm putting them in, he's just taking them out.
It's super passive aggressive. That's the most important thing to take away from this. So there is this like high window that has now become a hole in the floor that's kind of in front of you, but you could just keep going up and out if you prefer. You've still got plenty of like, let's say upward space.
In like an atrium? Or
so again, imagine this is like a normal wall, and this was just like a window, like a window you have on the side of the wall, but now everything's kind of fallen in like this, so that window has become almost like a hole you could step in. But if you keep going more towards the center, you'll reach the top of this building.
We're just gonna keep going to the.
Pietro's kind of gonna hold back at the back of the group near Mettelais and wait for everyone else to move forward.
Okay. So let's say that happens.
Okay. And I'm going to turn and look down at him and say, that was not a very nice thing you did, cutting the rope. Care to explain why?
Sorry.
I don't want an apology. I want an explanation. And I'll cast Stone of Truth.
Okay. And so I get a saving throw here, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the save?
I believe it is a Wisdom saving throw. DC 16.
That's not how to do it. Let's try that again. Okay, so that is an official fail. So with that, let's go do some Zone of Truth then.
Do I need to save from that? Am I subject to my own Zone of Truth? I actually don't know that. Let me look. But yeah, the flavor of it is that I'm just like pulling more smoke out of my sensor and kind of like wrapping it around us until there's a little bit of a circle on like of smoke coiling around us on the floor. Okay.
So with that, according to the spell as written, it says if he succeeds or fails, and also he can be evasive if he wants to. So
yes.
we'll refer to that. It's bedtime. That's not something worse.
Oh, that's
than
okay.
Counts. So with that, you asked him what one more time?
I would like an explanation for why you cut the rope.
Fewer people to share with.
Understandable. You are a greedy man, perhaps? Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
And you only want the gold, nothing else?
No.
What do you know is here? Or what do you think is here? What are you looking for?
Dragon shards.
Shards, plural.
Maybe.
Well, Mettelais, if you maybe stop trying to harm my new friends, we could share in the plural dragon shards, yes? I know I do not want money. I can't say the same for my friends or Jack. Jack probably wants the money. But let's just say if there's more than one dragon shard, we can both have one. And we don't have to have any more of this unpleasantness between us.
Maybe.
I'm going to need something better than that. Could I try a persuasion check?
Sure. Yeah, let's do that.
I don't know if I'm good at that or not. I'm probably not. Oh, I'm not. I know I'm not. I have really bad charisma. Let's try it. Let's go.
As a warforged.
Have fun with it. That's the important thing. Awesome. Wow. Okay.
That's great. Wow. It's really
so
not.
I feel like the problem is that he is not a receptive audience to begin with.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's made himself very obvious in that fact. So with that, yeah, you don't feel like you're gaining ground with him.
Are we still standing on the edge of the building?
Yeah, how much of this conversation do Cinnamon and I pick up?
I will leave that up to you all and how Riley feels about that.
I would be fine with you guys hearing any of it, honestly. I think that Pietro probably thinks he's alone, but if you guys want to have stopped or listened in, that's fine.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, you can hear as much as you would like to have heard. And then are you near the edge? You're at the point where your climb has again become more horizontal than vertical.
Okay.
So you're right there by that little window and you're right by the edge of the building, yes.
Okay. I don't know if I should do this or not because I'm considering it. I'm going to look around and see if there's anyone watching really quickly.
Are Sora and Cinnamon watching?
I feel like Sora is keeping an ear out, but is acting or trying to act like she's not watching or listening in. I don't know how well she's doing that, but
okay.
She's definitely pretending like she's engrossed in the climbing and expedition that's going on.
Cinnamon is definitely watching. She's still trying to figure out how else to mess with this guy now that he's been cutting ropes, hoping that she would fall down.
Okay. If Pietro sees Cinnamon watching, he'll just stand there for a bit, kind of just give Mettelais a nod, and then continue on, stepping away from the edge.
Okay. So with that, I guess we'll continue back towards the top of this temple. So there is, at this point, you reach the center where you can see the roof has totally fallen in. So the top of this temple has also fallen down. And if you were to look inside, there's like a central well, like a donut shape of this building, and the center of the donut is the top of the building has fallen into it. But looking down there, the nice thing about it is what it has fallen into is an enormous pile of gold. Enough that you can tell from, 45, 50 feet up in the air right now, that you are looking at a pile of gold.
So I guess we were both right. It was up and down, if you think about it.
Genius. 2 minds. Oh, that's 2 heads better than 1. 2 minds think alike. Something like that, yes.
The great thing is, I have more rope.
Perfect.
Is it just like gold? That's all we see down there? Like, how well can we see what's...
Do you want to make a check? Yeah, let's see what you guys can see. I can see it being perception. I think it's too far for investigation at this point.
Now, I'm hurt by that.
Okay. There we go. All right, so I would say that Sora, just angle-wise, you're seeing a lot of things. There's a lot of reflective light from the gold. Cinnamon has seen a dragon shard of Syberis before and knows that distinctive, very golden color, which you see now. And I would say that for, my mind is escaping, there we go, Pietro, looking down, there's a lot of color, but also you're probably a little bit aware of how magic works and what dragon shards look like, and it's not really just a natural sunlight sheen over this gold. So yeah, there's something magical down there.
Would I be able to discern how many dragon shards it looks like there are?
There seems to be a single light source. So if there are multiple dragon shards, maybe they're all together in like a little bouquet, but...
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose we should descend then.
Yes. I'm going to tie my rope to something that looks sturdy.
Yeah. That gets done.
Perhaps our friend here should go down first. Mettelais?
Fine. Mettelais climbs down the rope.
I'm gonna follow behind him.
Before you do, I kind of want to lean into Cinnamon and Sora and just really quietly say, Mettelais is after the dragon shard. There seems to be only one.
Why would he want it?
I don't know. He didn't say. But
We'll find out soon enough, I feel like.
we can't let him get it, obviously, if there is only one.
Well, I've got fast hands.
Good.
Okay, Sora will head down the rope after Cinnamon.
Okay. And who's going to go last? Is it going to be Captain Jack or Pietro?
I'll let Jack go first.
Okay. So Captain Jack climbs on down, and that leaves Pietro last. So everything seems fine. Cinnamon, by the time you reach the ground, you've gone down 45 feet. There are a lot of irregular stone structures. So you've got like half a story here and a staircase here and this big pile of rock in the center. The first thing that you'll notice is that there is no more Mettelais. He's gone. As soon as you get down here, you don't see any sign of him. And then the second thing that you'll notice is you are standing on a gigantic pile of gold. And it looks like, at a really casual glance, like the gold has splashed down and kind of like rained all around this area. So maybe this was, for some reason, like a second or third story pile of gold that just collapsed under its own weight. Maybe it was something else. It doesn't look like it's really coins. It looks like it's more like decorative pieces of gold that have been scattered everywhere. The next thing that you find, and I'm going to say that about the time that you realize this, like Sora's got to be climbing down the rope behind you. So maybe Sora also gets the sky side advantage of this. There is a femur that is about 7 feet long that is near one of your feet. And if you trace that in either direction, you see accompanying very large size bones. So Sora lands down about that time. You were saying?
That doesn't look like treasure to me, does it?
There's treasure, but there's also dead things, really big things.
Did someone say dead thing?
Would I be able to look at the bones and be like, they have any inkling of like what could have produced them, or am I just like clueless?
Sure. Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and make nature, unless you can think of something better. Medicine, I could see. Either of those.
I'll do nature.
Okay.
Their bones.
I mean, yeah, they're bones. They are much bigger than a human-sized bones. And as you're looking at them, Captain Jack walks up behind you, having just finished climbing down the rope, and goes, "Wow, that's a really big. That's a bone, right?"
I think it is. Sora's a little unsettled at how much they have in common.
It's a really big bone there. Yeah, bone. Hey, Pietro, we found a bone, he says to Pietro as Pietro climbs down the rope.
I love bones. Let me see it.
Captain Jack looks like he's learned something new about you, but now you've seen this very large bone, which is connected to the rest of a leg. In fact, all of the joints are perfectly connected. There's no missing pieces here at all. And running up the other way, way more bones.
Could I roll a medicine check as well?
Yes, feel free. You got all the good raiders coming in to find out all about these bones. Yes, this is a very large skeleton. You being in Zendrick and you being a person who speaks giant and having now found the bones that are here on the ground, you have deduced this is a giant.
Wonderful. I take out my small book and I begin writing notes about this bone and drawing it.
Captain Jack is looking around from side to side and it says, "Well, told you we'd find the gold. Has anybody seen Mettelais? He was around. He went down the rope, didn't he?"
I'll go look for him.
He went
Okay.
first.
Is there still that gleaming shine?
Yes, yeah. That's the only reason you can really see very easily in this room is you have your light spell too. You have two reasons. But
Good.
yes, there is a golden gleam that is not
Okay.
very far away from you.
Sora will accompany Cinnamon, won't let her, make sure she's not going by herself.
Okay.
I'm going to go in that direction of the gleaming light.
Right. So the good news is all these things are coinciding so perfectly. You don't see Mettelais. Pietro has started sketching it like the femur, the thigh part of this skeleton. And as he continues going upwards, first off, a lot of it is under the fallen rock. But now, as you continue up towards the head, you're starting to see that. And the great thing is that for both Cinnamon and Sora, you have found the source of the golden glow. It seems to be the mouth of this gigantic skeleton. So it's somewhere in the back of the throat.
Did the dragon shard fall on a giant and hit him in the head? Oh no.
Maybe.
Poor guy.
What are we looking at?
I guess we should go in there.
Is there any fracturing around the skull or the mouth?
There is no fracturing around the skull or the mouth. One might say, especially if one were, say, a cleric of the grave domain, that it looks like this body has been carefully assembled around this shard.
Interesting.
Because at the same time that I'm asking you to roll for initiative, the skeleton is pushing itself up off of this pile of gold. The rock is cascading down around it. And you see a flash in the shadows that you think are the eyes of Mettelais. So all these things are happening simultaneously.
Amazing.
Wonderful.
And that is why I have an encounter tracker from D&D Beyond.
Oh gosh. Right.
Oh, and yeah, so of course the initiative thing. Let me get this all set up. Sounds good. Let's add that. Okay, so
Look at those rolls.
that in. We're going to remove that. Oh, yep, that looks really bad. We're going to save that and run the encounter. Oh, wait, I got to change one more thing. Okay. If you guys have not played with the encounter tracker from D&D Beyond, it's very fun when you do need to use it. You just have to get this first stuff set up, and then it handles everything for you. So in the case that I forget who is A is going to be Pietro, B is going to be Sora, and C is going to be Cinnamon. And I get to just push auto roll initiative, and it gives me initiative for everybody. So we are starting out with Pietro.
Okay. So is this giant skeleton in the process of standing up or already stood?
Yeah, definitely in the process of standing up. You were at about its hip. So now it started to lever itself off the ground like it's sitting up. And when it stands up, it will be tall enough to, I mean, it's going to be like 20 feet tall when it stands up. It will be sizable. I think it's 15 technically. So with that, you will also catch the like glimmer in the distance of what you think are the eyes of Mettelais moving very fast through the shadows.
Is the dragon shard moving with the skull, or is it staying on the ground?
Yeah, it stays in the giant's mouth. So as it sits up, yeah, there's a dragon shard in the mouth of the skeleton.
Okay. Is Mettelais, does it look like that they're trying to attack anyone, or are they just like darting away, or what is the intention of the action there?
The very minimum is flanking, but more than that is hard to say since he has initiative after you.
Right. I am, just because I don't trust Mettelais, really quickly going to go ahead and cast Hold Person on them.
Okay. So let's do that. Hold Person is a wisdom save?
Let me double check. I think so. Wisdom saving throw, yes.
No, that is not a success.
All right. Mettelais is paralyzed.
Okay, I don't think he likes that, but I mean, what are you going to do? He's already paralyzed.
And then I think that's all I can do. Yeah, I'll like move away from the giant skeleton, just like get some distance from it.
That's a solid plan.
Yeah, I'll just get away from it.
Yeah.
And that'll be the turn.
Okay, so there's that. All right, very good. And we're going to move on to Sora.
Ooh, okay. Well, it seems like Mettelais has been taken incapacitated from now. So how far away am I from this giant thing?
How far away are you from this giant thing? You were walking up towards its head when it started standing up, so very close, I would say.
Very close. Yeah, you know, why not? I think she's gonna like smash her fists together and they're gonna start like glowing with like this white hot radiant energy, and I'm gonna fire a sunbolt up at its head.
Yes.
Yep, that sounds unpleasant. I like this one.
Does 15 hit?
A 15 does not hit it. And that's not a matter of being like really armored, because clearly it's not. But the problem is it's just very hard to find something that hurts this thing.
Okay, and then, hold on, let me double check to see if I can, I'm gonna do an extra attack again. And I'm like frustrated that didn't work. So I'm gonna run up and just like hit it like with an unarmed strike. So like do a kick to it.
Yeah, that's good. That one hits. Okay, so we're on, you did an attack action. This is your second attack in the attack action, right?
This is my second attack. So second attack, unarmed strike, 5 damage, and then I think I can make another one as a bonus action.
Yep.
Make one more.
Ooh, very nice.
Okay. So yeah, so I like the radiant damage didn't work. I'm like, fine, I'll just do this normal way. Run up, I kick it, and then I try and like punch it, trying to like unsettle its like rhythm or whatever.
Awesome.
And then I'll stay right up in its business. I don't know if I'll flurry of blows or anything yet. I don't know what it can do.
Perfect. So here's the thing that you notice right away. I don't know if you have a lot of experience fighting skeletons, but something you figured out is that this thing is dry and fairly brittle, and it's been sitting here in the jungle for quite a while. And when you hit it with your fist, with your foot, you hear that crack, and there's like a lot more crumbling and activity than you expect. You're sending fissures up the bones, and it seems to be very impactful.
Oh, okay.
So you've done good.
Is it like getting hit?
Yeah, so now we move on to the giant's turn, and I start paying attention to all the stuff it has, which is good. So the giant is going to attack Sora. Good. I just used beyond 20, but I didn't, and this is a total of that. So, okay, there's one attack at you. That's an 11, which has got to be a miss, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, second attack is a 17.
It just hits.
Okay, and third attack is a 26.
That definitely hits.
All right, so you're gonna do, yeah, I mean, it's very, very large. So you take 10 damage from one strike and 13 from another, as basically it just like swats down at you with its hand, and then like the other hand also tries to swat down at you. And it is a 15-foot tall skeleton, so it does hit hard.
Okay.
It's going to continue to try to stand up, and it won't complete that this turn. Okay.
Ouch.
In the shadows, Mettelais is upset about being held. And let's see if they can do their wisdom saving throw again. Okay, nope. They're going to continue being held. You know, it was not fair of me not to roll Captain Jack into this. So Captain Jack will just go last, just so we're clear. And it's Cinnamon's turn.
All right. Cinnamon is going to run up to the giant and attack it first with the rapier and then with the dagger. So here goes rapier attack.
Okay, that's a hit.
All right. And so that's 19 damage there. And then with her offhand is going to attack with her dagger. And that probably does not hit.
No, that one's not a hit, unfortunately.
Okay.
But 19's a good amount of damage for one shot there. Okay. Any moving forward, back, anything like that?
No, she'll stand next to the giant so that poor Sora is not the only person that it's attacking.
Yeah, that's fair.
Ass kicked at the moment.
So Captain Jack, I gotta warn you guys, I don't know if you're aware of this, he's not really useful for very much. But what he can do is he's gonna run up and hit the skeleton with his axe.
Let's go,
He
Captain
does not
Jack.
succeed.
No.
You know what? You guys all have 2 attacks, or you have that potential. So let's have him do one more attack. Yes, he does hit him with the axe the second time.
It's our boy.
Let's see. He's going to hold it two-handed, so it does more damage, and he's going to do a whopping 10 points of damage on this skeleton. There we go. He has contributed. That's his job this round, and we're going to go back all the way up to Pietro.
Okay, so while Pietro's kind of got his hand outstretched, kind of like muttering some things, like getting smoke swirling around. I keep forgetting their name. Is it not Mettelais? What is it?
Yeah, Mettelais. It's so bad, huh?
I want to say Amadeus. Keep like swirling the smoke around Mettelais' feet, keeping him in place. Pietro's gonna like hold out his other arm, grabbing his sensor and like shaking it a bit, kind of swirling the smoke around, and a large cloud of smoke is going to form like in front of the giant above it while it's trying to stand up, and a scythe made of smoke is going to appear as I cast Spiritual Weapon and make an attack on him.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do that. So you definitely hit.
Oh, hold on. I don't know how to actually roll the damage.
You click on the name of the attack, so where it says Spiritual Weapon, you just click that.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Oh, is it?
Oh, in the chat.
Yeah, in the chat.
Right, sorry, in the chat window. Where
Perfect.
It's appeared. Thank you. Okay, this skeleton has gotten whittled down quite a bit. Most of your damage has been at like knee and shin level, but it doesn't seem to be that bad on this giant. It seems to be doing quite a bit. So everyone's doing real well.
Okay.
Okay, is there anything else Pietro's going to do?
And then I'm going to go ahead and just... because I don't think Meliodas has good intentions, I'm going to hit him with a Hold the Dead.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Did I just call them Meliodas?
I don't know. You may have. Sorry, I'm not sure what you want to do. Would you mind repeating yourself?
I would love to cast Hold the Dead on the paralyzed person.
Okay. Is it a bonus action or?
It is a standard action. Spiritual Weapon is the bonus action.
Okay, got it. Let's do that.
Okay, so they have to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. Well, we know what that roll is. For you, so get that done. 11, nope.
Okay, so they're going to take a D8 of necrotic damage.
Yeah.
Because I assume that they are not... they've not taken any damage, I assume?
No, you missed your chance. You should have thrown them off that building earlier. But...
I know, I was considering it, but...
Yeah.
Well, they've taken 1 necrotic damage.
Hey, you know what the good news is? The next time they do Toll of Dead, they'll take the D12 of damage.
Yeah,
instead.
It'll be great.
So with that, we're going to have some random options coming up in chat. So everybody prepare yourselves to vote for the things you want to have happen. And secondarily, we're back in order at Sora's turn.
Okay. All right. So wait, so none of the random things apply just yet?
Not yet, but let's see. I think we'll probably get to those next round. Let's say this is going to be a future round, so we don't have to worry about it right now.
Okay. So Sora is like reeling from these attacks that the skeleton just did to her. She kind of like pushes herself back up and kind of like focuses for a second, channels all her energy, and I'm gonna just make another unarmed strike, see if that hits.
Okay.
14 doesn't, so I'm gonna make.
You know what? You can take the 20 because you've got Cinnamon right there with you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well then, I'll roll my damage.
Oof,
10,
it's
and then
very good right now.
I want to spend a key point to do stunning strike. So, I'm trying to take this guy down. I'm not happy with this.
Everyone will be
plan.
stunned and paralyzed.
Yeah, what am I trying to roll here? It's a con saving throw?
Con save, yeah. The DC is 14. So I don't know how good the skeleton's constitution is, but
It is gigantic. That's the only thing. So let's see how it goes.
let's see how it goes.
No, it's stunned. Well
No.
done, well done. When it
None
pays,
of the
it
enemies
pays.
shall take its turn.
Yes. Okay. And then I guess I can still make my other bonus action unarmed strike. So I would like to do that as well. So I'm gonna whack it again.
Yep, yep.
Like uppercut it or something, I guess.
That's
as much
totally a
as,
hit. Nice. Look at this
I rolled a
damage.
10. And you know what? Why not? I'm gonna do flurry of blows and hit it 2 more times.
Yes.
So she's just like pow pow pow, like hitting it over and over again.
Let's go for it. Oh man.
And
This is
then-
going to be very, very close. This is so close.
Oh my goodness.
6. Okay.
Oh, wow. You know what? You went and stunned it, and then you ruin it by taking it out. So I don't know. Is Sora just losing it, or how's this going?
I think she, after getting hit like that, she like freaked out for a second. She's like, okay, like, let me focus. And she starts like pouring in all her training into fighting this. But then after a second, she's like, wait a minute, this is a skeleton, and sees it start to like crumble and like fall to the ground as she's been punching it over again. And I think, is it like, is that enough to get, oh, okay. Yeah, I love to like, I think she like climbs up, leaps up, and I love that she could do like a spinning kick and like knock its head off or something.
Okay, yeah, it's going to be slowly falling down, and that's a great finisher. So just as a recap, you did 33 points of normal damage to a creature with vulnerability against bludgeoning. So that did end up being 66 damage in that round.
Good.
Nice.
I should play monks more often. This is my first time playing monks. This is fun.
That's how I feel when I play monks too. Yeah, they're great. So with that, yeah, the skeleton just like falls down to its knees as its shins break off. And then as it starts like falling down more and goes onto its hands, yeah, Sora just kicks the head off of the giant. So that's real good. I think the only downside of that is you kick the head over in the direction of Mettelais, who does get to make a save to see if he's unheld, but that'll be at the end of his round. So no matter what, he's lost this round. He did save quite well.
Oh no, it's a race for the dragon shard.
Yeah, starting next round, but now it's Cinnamon's turn.
Oh, Cinnamon's gonna high five Sora. Nice job. And then run over to where the dragon shard is.
Okay. So you've got to get into a giant's skull.
I'm gonna do that if I can.
So, okay, so you're running over there. You've got plenty of move. How are you going to go inside of the skull?
He's gonna dive, just hands out straight first through the teeth, right through.
Okay, I think that's a acrobatics roll.
All right. I should be good at acrobatics.
Yeah.
Oh no, I failed! That's a 1!
Okay. So, I mean, again, our operative word here is should. I was really considering using a disadvantage on it too, but I didn't want to do that. So with that, you do run forward and you dive towards this skull and
hit one of the teeth.
It's just not there. Yeah, you just did not get inside. So you're not in the skull, but you are next to the skull. That's where we'll start that round. Okay, we're going to go, Captain Jack is going to run over in the direction of Cinnamon. So running over like this, gets up to the skull, and he's going to just like and try to just like pull the skeleton jaws open. Let's
Strong
do that.
man.
Yeah, let's do a roll for pull. Yeah, he just pries the skeleton jaws open. That's the entire reason that Captain Jack is here now. That's great. So the skeleton's mouth pops open and the dragon shard is lodged at the back of its throat. He says, I don't know why we're doing this, but it seemed important. And with that, it's Pietro's turn.
Right. This creepy guy is free. He might grab the dragon shard. Someone else should grab it. I'm gonna move to like put myself in between Mettelais?
Mettelais. Yep.
Mettelais. Oh my god, my brain doesn't work. I'm gonna get mine between Mettelais and the dragon skull, and kind of just stand there, big and kind of thin in front of him, and I'm gonna doink him with another Toll the Dead.
Let's do that. So he does not have all of his hit points, so that's good news. And he's doing a wisdom save, correct?
That's right.
Okay, here we go. Wisdom save. I'm 14. Is that it?
My save is 16, so no.
Oh, yes. Okay, so good. So I failed that. So you get to roll a d12.
Yes, lots of necrotic. 7.
Okay, so that is good. That's tons of damage. I'm sure he does not like that.
For my bonus action, I'll bring over my spiritual weapon and take another hit at him.
Okay.
Because I do not want him stealing the dragon's shard.
That sounds real good, yeah. Yep, totally hits him.
So 7 more force damage.
7 more damage. Man, he's not having a good time. Okay.
Yeah.
So with that, we will move now on to Sora's turn.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see Pietro's kind of confronting Mettelais.
Mm-hmm.
Medalius.
It's
it's lost on me. And Cinnamon and Captain Jack seem to be they're looking at the dragon shard. I think how far away am I from Pietro Mettelais?
How old is I'm sorry, one more time.
How
far away are you from Pietro?
Yeah, like with 40 feet, could I like get over there?
What's your move in a round? I'm sorry, that's your move you're talking about. Never mind. Yes.
Yeah.
Clearly,
Okay.
yes. Yeah, you could do that.
Okay, so I think, just extremely suspicious of how this situation could quickly go left. Sora's gonna run over and like run up behind Delius and kind of like clock him on the head with her fist. And yeah, also another key point. I'm gonna try and stun him again. Like.
Okay. So let's go ahead and roll an attack and prepare for trouble.
Okay, yeah. Oh, actually, well, I'll wait to see if I hit, and then I will. Okay, so an 11 does it hit?
Do you get advantage for flanking?
Oh, I guess I do, right?
Yeah. That's a good point.
I don't know what rules you
Take
use,
advantage.
Hans.
No, it's good. Let's do that.
Take the advantage. Okay, so that's 8 damage.
Okay.
As I kind of like, just like give him a hook to the side of the head, and then yeah, I'm gonna spend a key point to try and stun him.
Okay, and it's a wisdom save again?
It's a con save. So.
Got it. Oh yeah, that's much better for you. Okay.
Uh,
Oh darn. All right.
Oh.
Okay, that was. Oh, I don't know how I feel about that. Okay. Can I? No, because that was my first attack, and I have one more. And if you grapple someone, that's separate from the attack action, so that doesn't count as an extra attack. Or could I still try and like grab him?
Let's see. So you've made an unarmed strike and a stunning strike, right?
Stunning strike is when you
No,
hit,
just
you
one.
can spend a key point to attempt a stunning strike. So yeah, so I still have
Yeah.
a bonus action and then another
Okay.
attack.
And you want to grab, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I want to grapple him.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Why don't you go ahead and make an athletics roll?
Okay. Just let's see if I can. Okay. No.
Okay,
not going well
and
for
I
me
gotta
today.
make a acrobatics roll for him. Yeah, acrobatics roll. Oh no, he's worse at it than you are. Excellent.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, so it's not my best work. Like I was really proud of myself for what I did earlier, but I kind of like fumble and try to like grab his hands like behind his back and hold on to him after the
Yeah.
stunning doesn't work.
He's just like deeply uncomfortable with being held,
Oh.
just like this, you know. So it's just not fun for him.
Don't try
Okay.
anything.
I feel bad for them, but also we have to stop them from getting the dragon shard.
Yeah, I think that's how that's supposed to work. You're supposed to feel conflicted.
Yeah.
Okay. So with this, who thinks that we're in dim light or darkness? I kind of feel like we're in dim light or darkness.
Well, I got my shield lit up.
That's a
And
good
the dragon-
point. And you are right there, right next to Mettelais. So maybe that's not going to work as well as you would like it to.
Well, is light a concentration spell? Let me double check this. Because
Don't
my
do
light
this.
my light might have faded.
I think it's dancing lights that's concentration. What light is it?
Okay. Yeah, and the light lasts for an hour. Okay.
Okay. Well, so with that, it's not going to be dimly lit. It's not going to be dark. So with that, he's not going to be able to use any of his cool powers. So he's just going to have to stay here and be held and try to break the grapple. So let's try to do that. This is me attempting to break the grapple, which Sora has to resist against. Try to roll higher than.
Am I making a athletics or acrobatics?
Yeah, athletics again.
No.
Okay.
That's
Well, the
quite.
good news is,
I'm really
He just-
impressed.
yeah, his will to not be held is such that he just finally broke free of that. But we'll say that took him his whole round. So he's just, he's yucked out. He doesn't want to have any more personal touch. And with that, we will move on to Cinnamon. Cinnamon, why are you so much smaller suddenly?
I don't know. She falls. I think she falls to the ground and then looks up, looks down, and she's 7.
So we're dealing with that. But also
Oh.
now you are at the head of this giant and the mouth is open.
Oh dear.
Does Cinnamon still know why she's here?
Yeah, I think
DM?
that's fair.
All
I
right.
think that's totally fair.
Oh dear.
So this very small 7-year-old child is gonna pick herself up and go running into the mouth of this giant.
Okay, now the most important question is how chubby were the cheeks on Cinnamon when she was 7?
So chubby. Just
Okay.
so chubby.
That's all I want. You get advantage on everything, which everything you win. That's all.
The kind of cheeks
okay.
that you just have to pinch.
I am very susceptible. So with that, you are now in the skull of a giant, and there is a dragon shard.
I'll reach out with both hands and just pick it up.
Yeah, it's not even that big. It's like football sized.
I
Ta-da.
have it.
Captain Jack says, "Good job, little lady."
Do we get teleported away now? Is that how this works?
That's a great question. As Gatro says that, right behind Cinnamon, a pair of golden doors just appear.
Oh, convenient.
Oh, I didn't know it was that easy.
Are we still in turn order?
That's a good question. I feel like Mettelais is probably going to do some stuff. You don't have to be in a turn order. He can just do a little nope out on you all. Let's see. Sora, you were grappling with Mettelais for a while. Do you want to try to make a perception check?
Sure.
Okay, that's perfect. That's exactly what I was imagining. So, you know that mark that Cinnamon has?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even though she's 7, she still has a mark. If you were to imagine it being more brightly colored and fully contrasted like it's supposed to be, and kind of purplish magic-y, Mettelais has that exact same mark on his hand.
No. Cultist, bad.
Interesting. You did say there would be cults. Okay.
So there are these doors.
Is Mettelais trying to make any moves? Is he?
That's a great question. As far as you can tell, he is standing fairly still recovering from the fact that he's been touched by another individual.
Mm-hmm.
And seems to be letting you make the first move now that Cinnamon is holding the dragon shard.
I'm gonna kind of tilt back towards Cinnamon and say, "Go for the doors."
Okay. And you can imagine a 7-year-old child just waddling over this dragon shard.
So as we get ready for that, I just want to announce to the chat really quick, we are in a hype train. So if we get these sub or bit goals at level 1, which we can achieve very easily with everyone's help, every one of these players will get 2 advantages. We are about to go through these doors. This is not the end. There is going to be some stuff in just mere seconds that they would really like that for. At level 2, you can give me even more disadvantages, which I promise to use on all the things that are not combat, just the things that make people's lives less fun. And at level 3, auto successes, I mean, we should go to level 3 if we can. That would be good. But we are now getting there. Yes.
Okay. So Sora's taking in child Cinnamon, even like tiny. The fact that Mettelais, I guess, is a cultist. She doesn't even know like what Cinnamon can understand. So I guess she'll be like, y'all are twins. Y'all are matching somehow. And she'll like hold up her palm in the hopes that Cinnamon will put it together and will like point at Mettelais and also start walking towards the doors, but like keeping an eye on them.
Yeah, I'm not moving away from Mettelais. I'm watching them very carefully, and I'm gonna slowly start backing away from the doors with a hand on my sensor. And I'm going to bring the scythe down in front of Mettelais and kind of like have it there ready to attack him if he tries to move forward.
Okay. So all of that seems to be going just fine. Nothing's happening there. Everybody's getting back towards the doors. Faye, my current interpretation of this Wild Magic Surge is that Cinnamon is just biologically smaller, but nothing else. How about for you?
That was my understanding as well.
Let's play with that. I think that's good. Okay. So you have all reached the doors. Captain Jack goes, "Look at all this gold. Are you sure you're not going to take some with you?"
You deserve all of it, Jack. You have done such a wonderful job.
Reward.
Truly.
Okay, thanks for your help.
Just we got our reward. You are good with yours. Just keep an eye on that one. Do not trust. Yeah. You'll be good.
And Cinnamon is going to wave her cultist hand.
They're a cultist.
Back.
You hired a cultist.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Goodbye.
He doesn't know what the word cultist is.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem very concerned, but I mean, technically there were 2 cultists the whole time. So
it's whatever.
I have a question. Does he see the cult symbol on my hand as I'm waving?
As you are, I think that he has gotten the message that you're conveying quite well here. So, yeah.
All right. I suppose we should skedaddle then.
So the doors open behind you effortlessly, and you all retreat into the black.
Mm-hmm.
And the doors close. They have opened right away behind you again. And the fabricator is like standing there. He's leaning down, and like his hand is directly in front of tiny Cinnamon to like take the shard out of your hand.
Before I give it to him, are you gonna take this away now after this one? No take backsies?
I forget, did you want to keep the hand and lose the mark? Or did you want to just lose the entire hand?
No, I'd like my hand, please.
Fine. And you seem shorter.
I don't know what happened.
You do seem shorter. That's odd.
Yeah.
What's going on there with that whole deal?
I sometimes just don't ask questions anymore. This thing sometimes does weird things.
I approve. Now give me the dragon shard.
Okay, but you're gonna take this away now? Leave my hand?
Yes, give me the shard, yes.
You'll also grant the wish of me and of Sora?
What did you want? What was this wish?
We said we'd talk about it later. I think now is an apt time, yes?
Yes, this is extremely tiring. Can I have the dragon shard while you think about what wishes you're going to ask for?
I know what I'd like.
What would you like?
I would like to know how to destroy a lich.
That's a very simple thing to do. You just find their phylactery and destroy it, and then the lich will be able to be killed. You still have to kill the lich.
Would you destroy the phylacteries of the Undying Council for me?
I don't have the time to do that right now. I have
you have all this
things.
All this power.
he's pointing at this giant sphere. I have something I need to do with this now, once I get that shard. When I come back, I'm sure that I can take the time to destroy the Elven Nation of Aerenal. That's fine.
I would love that. Thank you.
Yes, I'll just drop, say, like a planet on it. That's fine.
I wouldn't like that. I just want the council.
No, they're very large. It would definitely do it.
That's true. But I live there. I don't want the country destroyed.
I can recommend many other fabulous continents.
Seems like you're not. I just want the phylacteries destroyed. You know.
How many of them are there again? I don't keep track of these things.
Gosh, I don't know. I haven't counted them. Like 7 or 8, maybe.
Fine. I'll just destroy 7 liches. Just give me the.
All right, give it to him.
What are you gonna do with this?
I'm going to put it in the thing that does its things. The thing, you see it. It's right there.
What is the thing?
I don't feel like telling you. Just give me the shard.
I'm gonna look at Sora.
Sora has been trying to follow this conversation and like put together what's going on. She's like, so
This
they can grant
explanation
wishes
has already
now?
taken so many of my valuable seconds. Please just give me the shard. I even said please.
Okay.
Thank you. And they just grab the shard out of your hand and just like roughly tug it and start walking towards a sphere of light. Hey, Cinnamon, your hand was not being as clearly marked before. It is coming back quickly and vibrantly and painfully. So suddenly your hand is flaring with a purple light, and you can very clearly see the raven design on it. There's 2 ravens. You had forgotten there were 2 of them. And yeah, it hurts a lot.
Ow! Oh, I thought you were taking this away.
And continues to put this dragon shard, like shoving it into this big ball of blue magic.
That's not nice.
Is the mark going away?
It is definitely not going away. Additionally, this piece of the land that you're on now, it's always been very temperamental, being here in this area where everything just kind of does whatever it wants. It's shaking, like quite a bit. And it's also getting cold on the ground. Like the ground is starting to ice over.
Oh, that's not good.
Mm.
Maybe we should stop. Maybe we should stop them.
Cinnamon, did this happen the last time we gave? Are you sure this is the same?
No. Last time we started to take some of this away. Cinnamon's gonna like 7-year-old run up to the blue tiefling and stand in front of him and try to block
in my mind,
him.
There's like that Peanuts, like Charlie Brown running for the football noise, like that bubbling. Yeah. So you're running, and the shard is firmly placed into this blue ball, and he just says, "Finally!" And there is an exaltation, and so they raise their hands up towards the heavens, and this blue light starts becoming more and more solid. And as all of that is going on, the ground has become very cold beneath your feet. Pietro, you are very clearly the one who will notice first, because the let's say air breaks.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
It just shatters in that way that ice shatters. It kind of goes and it starts spreading outwards in a big fracture, and something is stepping through.
Oh no!
It is very clearly undead.
Something.
Oh no!
Something immensely undead is stepping through.
What can I do about that?
At this moment where you're running all of these thoughts through your mind, trying to decide what to do, the world just breaks. By the way, just so you all know, you did pass level 1 of this hype train. You have those rerolls. I am looking forward to my stack of disadvantage if we keep this hype training going, but you may want those auto successes that are at level 3. Chad, we love you all. You're amazing. As all this is going on, the planes break, and a 5-foot, maybe 2, elven woman with very desiccated blue skin, marked with light tracings of a skeleton across their face, starts to walk through this space. Their clothing is all very ephemeral, like wispy white. So it looks like they're wearing frost or like a lot of lace, but it's just like layers upon layers upon layers, and yet there is no weight to any of it. And they're walking through, one finger outstretched directly at Cinnamon.
I put my hand behind my back and start to back
just,
away.
Follows. Yeah, they walk straight towards Cinnamon. They have long black hair that's like crinkly dry and kind of like comes back, but it's been gathered in a very ornate clip that's just covered with sapphires and emeralds. They're walking directly up at Cinnamon, and as they point the finger, they just say, well, you're no good to me like that. And they throw their fingers up like this, and Cinnamon, you are 16 years old and as tall as you used to be. That's a little better.
You really have to warn people before you do that.
And
Can I
they now turn.
Can I step between Cinnamon and the Lich?
Absolutely. So you do that, and they're not even looking at you anymore. Just like right as you step in front, they turn and just look at the fabricator instead and start like slow walking in that direction. If you have seen Terminator 2, and you can imagine the like liquid metal Terminator, where they just walk slow but very confident and very angular, that's the walk that Solkatesh has as she walks across this plane towards the fabricator, who is enraptured with this blue sphere. It's now hardened, and all of that like blue magic energy is now just a big bubble. And all those gold pieces are like crawling around it. So it looks a lot like an egg or like a fruit or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
You said
like
Solkatesh is in the cult of Solkatesh?
Yes.
yeah, right. The same Solkatesh Lich that is, emblazoned on Cinnamon's hand. Yeah.
We should probably stop this, guys. We should probably stop what's going on.
The fabricator looking away, not paying attention. Solkatesh walking forward, and then just like their fingers start glowing like dark black.
Mm-hmm.
And it's blackout, but like you can tell that her fingers are glowing with like a black energy as she walks up.
Okay. This feels bad. I don't want to protect the fabricator because they seem like a jerk, but also I don't want this Lich to get whatever she's after.
It's bad. It's all bad.
I'm gonna walk up, and I'm gonna run up because she's walking slowly, and I'm gonna step between her and the fabricator, and I'm gonna say, "Don't take another step," and I'm gonna do turn undead and try and like repel her with turn undead.
Okay. So you try that. You of course immediately fail. As you do it, what is your holy symbol, or what is your method of doing this?
My sensor. It's the incense smoke.
Yeah. Okay. So you do that, and you see the smoke like start to float out, and you tell her just get back. That's what you said.
Yep.
Okay. And the smoke literally just retreats into the sensor, gets pulled in.
That's no good.
And like you can hear like a little rattling around, like maybe it even froze in there. And she just continues walking towards the fabricator. There are just like ancient sockets around her eyes, and just everything she does, like skin very tight, very gaunt, very determined. And as she raises his hand up, you can see there's like 5 points of just prominent blackness around the fingers as she reaches for the fabricator's back.
Tiefling.
Excuse me, sir. Blue, sir.
Are the shards already put in, like, are they already encased in this like thing?
That's a good question. Whatever this thing is complete and doesn't have pieces that you can like take apart that you could see.
And like it is encased in something, so we wouldn't be able to like pick it up and like take it.
Right. There's no sign of the shards anymore.
This okay, yes.
I'm gonna turn to Cinnamon. Is the blue guy a friend?
Not really, but also he probably shouldn't die.
I almost feel like we're interrupting something.
I feel like we should stop it.
Cinnamon's gonna run up and tug on the robe of Solkatesh.
And with one hand, they kind of like way back. Quiet, child. Remember, you work for me.
Oh. Is that what this means? What do you want me to do? What are you going to do to him?
Just stay there, and I'm going to end this. And they turn back around with a hand raised up like this.
That's a bad idea. I have a deal with him. But I feel like if I cast any spells, they're not going to work.
I would say at this point, other than turning undead, nothing's off the table.
I'm standing right in front of her and trying to block her path. I'm going to go ahead and cast another spell because that's all I know how to do, and I'm going to reignite the incense in my sensor and kind of wave it around in front of me, and just have like a large circle of smoke just encircle me and encircle the lich, and like have like these like grasping hands kind of reach up and around and fill the space. And I'm going to cast Spirit Guardians.
Okay. So that's good because that doesn't require any sort of save or anything like that. So yeah, you are summoning Spirit Guardians. What do you think they look like?
Yeah, like I said, like the smoky, incense smoke that takes the form of like these small like grasping hands or like an opening mouth here and there, like the souls of dead people.
Okay, and I guess my thing was, so we're thinking like humanoid people is what we're looking for.
Yes.
Okay, got it. So with that's happening and does not seem like anyone really cares at this point. Yeah, let's do a wisdom save. Where's that? Okay, wisdom saving. It's weird. Liches are really good at a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I figure.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, yeah, kind of effortlessly, she just passes through the field of it and continues towards the fabricator. And with that, the fabricator now turns like at the last moment, and as they turn, they just like throw their hands down, and there's just like this blue line in front of them. Solkatesh's claws crash against that, and you can hear the magic just like, there's a sound that is not a sound you can normally hear. It's like the dog whistle in your ears, where suddenly just everything is breaking. And the fabricator now has both hands out and is turning and like throws lightning with one hand, and Solkatesh just like grabs it. And then she's like shooting ice at him, and he just like grabs that and pushes it back at her. And there's a very elaborate kind of like magical dueling that's going on for just a second. And the fabricator turns and looks at you, Cinnamon, and Sora just like in 1 second with desperate eyes. And then you have this beat. What are you going to do?
I think I served this lich.
Gonna work for the lich.
Yeah, I feel like Cinnamon. I feel like she doesn't know who Solkatesh is, but at least she's being nice to her. And this blue tiefling dude, the fabricator, has done nothing but lie.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. How about Sora?
Susanna is stumped, so I'm not sure what Sora is doing. Because I still don't know.
This is a lot.
This is a lot. Like extra planar stuff. Like clearly, like two like very powerful people are fighting. I feel like it's not the smartest thing to jump into the middle of it.
That's so fair.
No, it's not.
So here's what happens in that moment where you're thinking about it. Suddenly, the gold doors appear behind you all. They're just there again. And in the moment that you recognize they're there, they also go flying off of their hinges. They just explode. And that black that was inside eclipses all of you. And that is our ending. I know. What the heck happened, and where did you go, and why, and how does that count as an ending? It's terrible.
No.
I know. That's the only way we can really resolve this is with ennui and being upset. Yeah. What happened to the fabricator? What happened to Solkatesh? Why is everything black? What is going to go on with those doors? What are we going to do next week? Are the questions we will answer later. I think I could maybe handle outros up until the point of sponsors, so I won't expect Scrat to jump out here right away. I think what we should do is go around, starting with Susanna and doing the circle like this again, and everybody can say who they are, if there's a place where we can find you online, if you have projects you would like to plug, and if you have a favorite moment you would like to share.
Sure. Okay. I'll jump in. Hi, I'm Suze or Susanna. You can find me on Twitter at Zanna_K, so ZANNAH_K. I don't remember my full Discord handle off the top of my head, but I'm active in the Scratticus Discord and the Welcome to the Party Discord. And what was it? Favorite moment from today. I thought Captain Jack was going to be so annoying, but I found him incredibly endearing by the end. So I loved his journey and witnessing that. That was fun.
Good, thank you. Captain Jack is the best. Let's see. Yeah, let's move on to Riley. Riley, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Riley. I am currently studying game design. You can find me at Carnival Beard on Twitter. I'm, working on some games, doing some homebrew D&D stuff that you can check out on Twitter. And I absolutely loved seeing Sora as a badass monk just climb a skeleton and decimate it. It was really cool.
That was very good, yeah. Okay, we're going to continue on to Faye.
Hi, I'm Faye. You can find me on Twitter at Captain Fake Guy. I'm also part of a couple of D&D podcasts called How the Quest Was Won and Misfits Guide to Adventuring, which you can also find on Twitter. And I'm also, of course, here on Wednesdays playing Cinnamon Isle Leaf. My favorite part, I think, was just everyone's interactions with Mettelais. I think especially Sora just like grappling him and him just like being completely uncomfortable with being touched the whole time. And of course, the zone of truth.
It was very good. I was trying to figure out how to zone a true somebody who refuses to talk.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, I was worried it would be like an Avantika moment or something where you just didn't say anything.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give people something. I mean, there's a whole spell slot there.
Well, you got to try it, and you got to understand that it might not work out.
That's right. So let's see. I'm Hans. I'll be here next week on Sunday, this coming Sunday of Memorial Day weekend. I've got to finish up The Witcher Crimson and Ash on Salty Sweet Games. So if you guys are around and want to watch that, that should be like this, but with different NPCs, but the same high level of drama and giant monsters. And then back here for next Wednesday, where we'll do something and maybe figure out what happened to Cinnamon, or maybe we just leave Cinnamon in the black door area forever. That sounds terrible.
No.
My favorite part was how Cinnamon immediately gained 2 older siblings. As this started, it's like, I have to go find the shard. It was like, well, let's go get you that shard. It's like, hey, we have to do this other crazy stuff. Well, let's make sure Cinnamon's all right this whole time. I love that. That was so great. So it looks like Scrat's ready to take over.
I have been cracking up back here behind the scenes. Like, some of the small interactions between the 4 of you earlier on, like especially on the freaking boat when you like hit the random tug, and then we're interrogating like the dock worker guy. Like, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this a lot. This is exactly my sense of humor. Thank you so much, all of you, for a fantastic game. Let's talk about sponsors. Y'all, these shows are possible, especially during the pandemic, thanks to the following 4 sponsors. Please check out Mage Hand Press. You can find all of their work on their store. They've got 25% discount on all of their PDFs. It's expansions for 5e. If you've got a fandom, you'll probably find it there in an expansion. Go and check it out. It's worth the half an hour browse, which will turn into 2 hours. Also, check out The Deck of Many. The Deck of Many create these wonderful animated picture cards, and you may have seen their video in the halfway break advertising their new Kickstarter, which was funded in 15 minutes. It funded 20k in 15 minutes. That's how that sentence should go. It's level 6 to 9 SRD animated moving cards and tarot cards. I think their current goal, if they haven't hit it already, is to stretch up to something ridiculous like 200%, 2000%, I don't know, 6000%. Let's pick a number. Let's go big. 9 million, over 9,000. That's the goal. And they'll make a book. Also check out Hero Forge. Hero Forge for all of your miniature needs. These magical multi-hued minis will be available very soon. They are currently in beta testing, and the Kickstarter pledges have access to the beta to create and print out these minis. But they'll soon be available to the public wide in the next few months. Check that out. That's heroforge.com. And last but most certainly not least, our latest sponsor, Dungeon Fog for all of your map making needs. Top-down maps with lots of options for terrains and buildings, and you can color and customize everything. You'll have a bunch of fun over there. When you decide you love it, upgrade to their premium account using our 10% discount code. This has been amazing, y'all. If you liked any of the music, which Hans picks all by himself, it doesn't. I just do the scenes. Hans does the music. Then you can find the attribution licensing in the following credits, along with a bunch more information about sponsors or anything like that. Until tomorrow, when hopefully, everyone please cross your fingers, the news says that the heat wave is going to break tomorrow and it will be a cool day. Hopefully either that's true or Alice's fan arrives a day early, and we'll be on for our full day of scheduling tomorrow. Until then, keep on evoking emotions, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Welcome in, Perception Studios. Thank you so much for the raid. You've caught us just as we're wrapping up. Welcome in, Perception Studios. Fear. Thank you so much for the raid. You've caught us. Purely means that we'll take you to another awesome place where you can find some fantastic content. Take you to another awesome place where you can find some fantastic content. Take you to another awesome place where you can find. Thank you for the follows. They are very appreciated. You know what? Yeah. Thank you for the follows. They are very go over here. We're gonna raid a friend of the channel. Honestly, I suspect that they may well be the next partner coming in. You know, it's Kent Weebs. If you like chaotic scenes with a lot of anime, this is gonna be the place for you. If you like chaotic scenes with a lot of anime, he's adorable. He's awkward. We love him. There's an echo apparently. He's adorable. I don't know how to fix that. There's an echo apparently. He's adorable. I don't know how to fix. I had the stream unmuted. I turned my PC sound down so that I could pro streamer. I just opened up Twitch, didn't I, to find someone to raid, and I didn't mute it because I turned the group chat are still wrapping up. The group chat is still wrapping up, so I opened Twitch and I couldn't hear that it had a thing, so because I'd muted the Twitch chat, so I couldn't hear that. Sorry! Right! Y'all! We're gonna raid Kent Weebs. Join us! It's gonna be our excellent raid. You know what? We're gonna bring the hype. We always do bring the hype. Let's break Kent. It's gonna be great. Kent's Sphinx has already linked our raid cry. Copy it into your keyboards. Let's go.